Good morning, everyone. I hope you've all been having a lovely day so far, and thank you so much for joining me on the first read-through. I had so many panic moments going into this. There were so many things where I was like, this could go wrong, that could go wrong. For one thing, check out this new beautiful asset that Natsumeko made. I did not get to add it to the stream yet, but yeah, this is based on the artwork. So this asset, this outfit is designed with the general idea of being like pre-colonial, well, colonial era, like Puritan garb. It was designed by Sakurabamu for the artwork with like Hannah's butterfly. 1 minute, let me grab that. That's the Pupal. Let's not use that one. Let me find an image I can replace. Oh, I can just make a new one. That works too. Browse. Official art. There we go. So yeah, it was taken from this art and one other piece of art that you guys haven't seen yet. You'll see that either in 2 weeks or 2 weeks later. But yeah, Saku designed this art with the general idea of it being like Puritan garb from like 1600s Salem with a bit of a Féileacán and Cú twist. So it's beautiful. And then Natsumeko managed to recreate the outfit so well. The other piece of art, we'll see the front. If you are part of the membership, then you have already seen the artwork from the front as well. So you know that this is a very good recreation of it. And Natsumeko made it so brilliant. I can't make it sit absolutely perfectly, but Natsu's done such a good job of making it like move with my body. It only, like it bounces a bit too far down and then resettles when I look down. Other than that, it fits so well. The arm moves so good. Like, oh God, it was so nice to have this. This was actually completed last night. I woke up this morning and it was ready. So unfortunately, I didn't have time to add it into the like thanks description for the video or anything. But this is beautiful. I love it so much. And yeah, I forgot to add the Kami made the text boxes as well. That's the one bit that I forgot to credit, which is like an important part of like the streams as well. So I have a few things to add to the description, but yeah, it was nice. Everybody came in clutch, and look, it even has its own gem that wigbles and wobbles. It's very cute. It's very well rigged. Natsu is becoming like a master of rigging. Because I think Natsumeko only started to learn rigging like a couple months ago. Probably around September or slightly before September. So yeah, they're very quickly creating me an entire wardrobe. It's been fantastic. And thank you guys so much for joining the first read through. I really liked that. So my one problem with the first 3 chapters, there was like 1 or 2 writing errors that I read through, even though I've read through them probably like 50 times by this point. I was reading through and there were maybe 1 or 2 or 3 times where I was like, that wasn't quite right. And I'm like, God damn it. Other than that, the only thing is like, you really get an introduction to everything. You haven't even got the full introduction to the teachers yet. The full introduction to the teachers will come in like a tiny little bit later. Should be the next 2 chapters away. And yeah, we've gotten like 5 of the 6 phantom faces introduced, as well as the idea of a tier. But yeah, there's so much world building to do in this. To make it so that the novel itself is its own standalone thing, we kind of had to rebuild in everything that the freaking Chris Nguyen Hakuku managed to put in just the first 4 chapters of the web novel. Like, Chris managed to make everything about the idea of like tears and going into a lost soul's world and freeing them so well done within those 4 chapters. It was so streamlined and so beautiful. And for me, it's probably going to take me like 10 chapters just to like get through all the ideas of like what a lost soul is, what a tear is, and what their whole thing is. But yeah, it's fun. It's going to be a fun challenge. Also, Nekobaga, more! I need more! Congrats on releasing the first 3 chapters. I was so happy to see so many characters already. Thank you so much. I am zooming away because I accidentally clicked a thing, but that's fine. We'll be right back. I have so many buttons on my thing now. I will grab 2 from Nekobaga real quick before we move on to other ones. Nekobaga. And thank you guys so much for all the support. Why is it not... Oh. Huh? The viewer activity isn't capturing like any of the donations. That's so strange. Please? I wish to read the old donation. It did not capture them. That's so aggravating. I got like Claudine's ones and then nothing for ages. either way, Nekobugger, thank you so much for donating. I'm going to have to go into like the YouTube Central thing. 1 second. I'm going to have to go into my creator studio to find those. That's so aggravating. Supers. Super chat. Seal. Okay, there we go. Nekobugger part 2. There we go. I honestly thought Feli would be way colder, so seeing him actually pat Cú on the back to comfort him caught me off guard. And Cú is a lot more assertive with Feli than I expected too. Really looking forward to the next read through. Yeah, I mean, we'll see as it goes on, but for now, yeah, that's kind of like their establishing relationship. It will develop as time goes on. Obviously, things always develop. Effects always, you know, actions always have effects, so we'll see. The Feilipats, yeah, the Feilipats are cute. Is it just me or is the stream lagging? Is anybody else's stream lagging? What is regging? I don't think regging is even a word for one thing. But I'm not getting any dropped frames, so if anything's going on, it's either your internet or YouTube. Seems fine. Okay, good. I'm glad to see for most people it's fine. Tir Nanog, is that what this is? I would really like to know more. That I can talk about. So I will be answering questions that I'm allowed to. I won't be spoiling anything. I'm being very careful about what we let out about this story. But yeah, I will answer the questions that I can, so feel free to ask anything throughout the stream and I'll try to answer it. And I will also be responding to all of the super chats because thank you guys so much. Tir Nanog, is that what this is? Would really like to learn more. So the word Tir does come from the same as Tir Nanog, because Tir Nanog is, if anybody doesn't know, that's the Irish legend about where the Tuatha Dé Danann went. The gods who used to live in Ireland that were like supernatural creatures that went sideways to the sun and left humanity behind, which is kind of thoughts about like where possibly the She went when they decided to leave Earth as well. Just like somewhere else, somewhere beyond our realm of understanding. Whether you think of it as like a fourth dimension or an afterlife or a different world. A lot of humans also occasionally get like swept up into their adventures as well. But Tir Nanog in Irish literally just means land of youth. So the word we took from it is Tir with that little fada over it. It is Tir that just means land. So yeah, Tir is just an Irish word that means land, much like so many of the story beats in this have been bastardized from Old Irish. Same as like Cashlan, which is the name of the castle that they see outside the train. Cashlan just means castle, literally. Feileacan just means butterfly. Tir just means land. What are some other ones? There are a couple of other ones. I'm trying to remember. Ectra. So each arc is going to be called an Ectra as well. And an Ectra is a type of Irish legend, a type of Irish story that was specifically about humans getting swept up into supernatural creatures' worlds. So if you think of like the story of Oisín, the man who got taken away to Tir Nanog, met the Tuatha Dé Danann, met his wife. Wait, was Oisín the man or the woman? Anyway, got swept away to Tir Nanog, came back and eventually like realized time moves differently there. Anyway, yeah. That's what an Ectra is. An Ectra is like a mortal being like meddled with by like the Fae, the She, the Tuatha Dé Danann, the Firbolg, any kind of like supernatural creatures going through an adventure and possibly coming back to their own world, but in general it's just them surviving some sort of supernatural ideal. So every arc that we do, like Hannah's Tir is the first arc, is going to be called an Ectra or an Actra. Cú does mean hound. Yeah, Cú literally just means hound or dog as well. Oisín was too damn bad for the Fae. Wouldn't you be? To be fair, Oisín was the man. Okay, thank you. What was the... For some reason, my mind is telling me it was Oisín and Aisling, and that can't be right. So, what was the woman's name that he chased into Tir Nanog and stayed with? I can't remember her name. For some reason, Aisling is the only word, and it can't be Oisín and Aisling. I can't remember the girl's name. That angers me so much. Oisín is the son of a famous Irish hero, Fion's son, and Niamh was Niamh. Oh my god, thank you, it was Niamh. So yeah, Niamh was Oisín's wife. Thank you. God damn. Me using them as an explanation and just being like, and what was their names? Is that name the man or the woman? Damn it. Cat Thistle, thank you so much for donating the allowance. Q, you did spectacularly. The story is amazing and the reading was great. Little scuffs aside. Yeah, little scuffs aside, I think those are fine anyway. I just did my best not to snap too much. There was one time I giggled because I'd realized I'd done something so dumb. I did like the transformation sequence to Feli, and this time I remembered to actually... The first time I did the transformation sequence, and I forgot to change what my model was wearing, so I was angry. So the second time I made sure that I changed into the Feli outfit, but I forgot that that scene is like a transition into the other world where I would already be wearing this. And so, yeah, I started reading, and then I was like, oh, and now I'm complaining about my Puritan garb, and I'm like, fuck. I have all the time in the world thanks to those transformations to set things up, but I still fuck it up. Looking forward to what shall come. Also, Outer Guard. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, we're going to get into like deeper things that the webtoon hasn't quite explored just yet either. Those will be introduced in bits and pieces. The giggle was tiny but adorable. That was just such a stupid moment for me. I was like, you literally taught yourself this lesson last time. You literally tried to correct for yourself, but okay. Could hear Sensei's nervous from the speed Sensei was reading the first chapter. Yeah, I might have to do a reread someday, but I also didn't get into Feli's voice properly. When I was first doing Feli's voice, it just kind of sounded like this. It didn't really sound like it had the proper gravitas of Feileacan. You're dealing with so many costumes, it happens. Yeah, and one of the main problems is that if I outfit swap, it's like half on, half off. So I have to like outfit swap and then switch back real quick. Between Feli and Cú, it's just like a tap of a couple of buttons. Between Feli and then Cú in this, I have to like literally undress Cú and then put this on. Take this off and then dress. As a Fate Grand Order veteran, I'm very concerned about the Outer God mention. I don't even know what the Outer God is in Fate Grand Order. It's a very, very simplistic term, as are all the terms in Metamorphosis Lost for the general idea of like Cú trying to put words to things. But I'm sure we'll see more in time to fill in the blanks. Or not, which could also track for Eldritch entities. It is most assuredly that. It is, yeah, a god, a thing outside of our understanding, so Eldritch 100%. If Cú had to wear fitting clothes in a tier, does that mean he had worn interesting outfits in some creative tiers? Maid outfit, bunny suit, etc. Teehee. Maybe. To be fair, Feli did point out there's been like, they've dealt with a couple of tiers already. So they've done, of course, the first tier, which was Subarin. It was Subarin. And so, yeah, there's been other things that him and Feli have accomplished in these 2 months before this story starts in October. And that's another question that people asked me about, like, did you forget how old you are, Cú? You're 34 now, not 33. I know. This story starts in October. It starts at the beginning of October, so while this story is occurring, it's still very early October. And yes, there is unfortunately going to be a timeline. I have plotted this shit out too deeply. So it's already been a couple of tiers already. Yeah, and some of them might show up in the webtoon eventually. I have been very behind on writing plot lines for the webtoon, so we're unfortunately not going to have one next month. We'll see when I actually finish the next couple of chapters, but yeah. There will be like other tiers will happen in the webtoon where they're not like the main story that connect to like Feli and Cú's adventure, but they are just like interactions, which will probably show more of their relationship and probably give some more information to like side characters that don't get enough time. Thank you so much for your donation, Midnight Guard. Thank you for donating the allowance. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I still love that tattoo. That was such a nice touch. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for being here. The tattoo, I know, it looks so good. Now the question is if it's something fully from him, or is it or if it can only be brought out if he has a vessel, because he's so disconnected from humanity. I'm really curious where his character will go. Oh wait, Feli is a okay. I was like, there must be a different first part to that. Feli is a fascinating character to analyze. It's very clear there is no emotional touch to his job, at least for now. There's at least a simulacrum of humanity to him. I would be very interested to see people analyze things. I also saw somebody asked, are these stories going to be up on the blog? Yes, I have them all like on the blog. I made a couple of corrections, so I'm going to need to like repost them on the blog. and I need to add an image or two. But once they do go up, the blog will have the first 3 chapters live just like 10 to 15 minutes after I'm done with this stream. They're literally all up there. I just need to like refresh them, put an image in, and then the first 3 chapters will all be posted. So if you want to read through it like novel style, web novel style, instead of listening to the stream again, you can do that right away. And also, if anybody creates fan art based on like scenes from the story, and if you guys give me permission, please do use the hashtag Metamorphosis Lost. I will be checking through those, and I will ask permission if I see them there, if I can be like, can I add this to the blog? And then I'll just slip them in. Because yeah, obviously we've got official artwork coming from Sakura Bamu, which is beautiful, but there's probably only one every like 4 to 5 chapters. So I'm not even sure if the second one will be in the next read through. The second one probably won't be until the 3rd read through. It's near the end. But then, yes, then we will, if anybody is okay with that artwork being hosted on the blog, it will be hosted there with a link to it as well. Hold on, where can we read this? Oh, Charlotte, it's in the description of every video I ever do. If you go scroll down to the bit where it says to find out more about my ongoing web novel and where to read it, just click that link. That will take you to the Metamorphosis Lost blog. Right now, the first 3 chapters aren't out, only the prologue, which did not even get a read through. So you can read through the prologue, which you can examine in your own way. But yeah, in general, all of them will be posted there right after I do a read through, just so they don't spoil anything early, but people can read them at their own leisure whenever they want to after. I'm really wondering, how did you come up with all these terms? I know most of them are Irish, but how did you come up with them, if it's okay to ask? Literally, I mean, it makes perfect sense because it's in the character as well. It's literally just like, I tried to borrow words from Irish to make them sound cool. That is 100% it. 100%. It's not a question of like, oh, it has this deep, incredible meaning. Some of them might have some slightly deeper meanings as time goes on. But for the most part, it's literally just like, oh, this is an unknown world, a different land. I could just call it a realm, a domain, a different world, but I was like, you know what would be cool? Using Irish. Bastardizing my heritage. So it's like, I'll just use the word tier. Sensei, will there be more characters appearing besides the students? For example, villains or the like. Having Féileacán and Cú only having 6 on the train is inconvenient. I need more ships. We haven't introduced every single one of the characters just yet, so give it another few chapters and all of them will be introduced, but they're all on the blog right now. If you want to read about all of the main characters are on the blog other than the upcoming Lost Souls. I haven't even put Hannah on the thing yet because I didn't want to spoil what type of character she was before we actually started, but there's got to be 5 Lost Souls, possibly, as well as the characters that are on the blog, which includes the 6 Phantom Faces, 5 of which were very lightly introduced, but it's really only the beginnings of their personality. I would say Saoirse's the only one who got like a proper introduction to who she is. Rashid didn't even get any time in this first chapter, but he's going to be a more focus later on. And then there's the other teachers, including Will, who got a big introduction, but neither Nikki nor Maddie did. So there's quite a few. There's quite a few characters outside the worlds as well as inside the worlds. Are going to be like the big characters that Cú and Feli interact with the most together. Raina Noi, thank you so much for donating the allowance. Thank you for sharing the story with us. It was so sad. We need more crying. The lore of the characters is so interesting. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Raina Noi. Yeah, I'm hoping people will really connect with like the Lost Souls. We'll see. Hopefully the human characters too. But yeah, it's been fun to write, and it's fun to finally be able to release them now as well and talk to people about them because they've been in my head for months. So it's good that we could actually start to discuss them, and you know, it'll build up as time goes on as well. I already adore Will. Yeah. Thank you for releasing Metamorphosis Lost chapters to us. Your writing is wonderful without a doubt. Can't wait for the world building and angst. Thank you so much, Mikitaka, blah, blah, blah. I always just want to say Mikita-chan. Mikitagagami. Thank you so much for donating to the allowance. And yeah, I'm so excited to share more with everyone as well. I love people already theorizing about like Feileacan, like what his deal is, the outer god, other things. But yeah, I'm hoping that like once the once the chapters are actually out online, people like are able to digest things a bit more slowly and take time with them and be like, oh, this was a bit of a strange interaction. So yeah, hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see what people come up with. Yeah, the Salem witch trials, depending on which paper you're reading, were caused by bored teenagers, poisoned bread, mass hysteria, or adults telling their kids to say stuff so they could steal land. For the most part, it was pieces of shit blaming teenage girls for witchcraft just for being women. Just because they could and they could kill them off and steal their shit or ruin lives. It was a witch hunt. That's why we use the term witch hunt nowadays. Yeah. Nobody was actually a witch. Anybody might have just been practicing a different religion or just doing things that other people considered strange and unnatural. If they were actual witches, they would have fought back and shit would have gone bad. Wonder if we'll meet other Reapers? Good question. Does that mean we can call Cuckoo too? Since, well, no. I gave you guys a list of good nicknames you could call me. You guys can call me Sensei. You guys can call me Kuchan. You guys can call me Kusensei. Not Cuckoo. That's exclusive for Will. Morgan's Bird. He recently joined fan discords just for art sharing purposes. Check out his Twitter. Oh, wait, what did I miss? That seems like an explanation to something. Oh, okay. Wondering if Hannah was a victim of some sort of online witch hunt before she died, which is why the tear is like the Salem witch trials. I guess we'll find out next time. Next time they're diving back into the tear. We haven't even begun to figure out what kind. Well, we've seen the parents on the outside, but that's it so far. And Jeremy, this child. I don't know if I want to be angry with this child or not. Jeremy's a boy. Jeremy is one of those boys who's gotten by so far on the whole, like, boys will be boys kind of shit. So, yeah, he needs possibly a more responsible teacher than I am. But, yeah, yeet the child. Don't yeet the child. He just needs some lessons. All children are like that. These kids are 9 and 10 years old. Most of them 9. The school year has just started for year 6 kids. They are 9. They are growing. They are developing. They all have their own issues they're dealing with. Jeremy is a boy. Jeremy is a boy. Anybody who's been around children when they're an adult and like seen them grow knows that girls mature a lot faster than boys. 9-year-old girls are acting like the equivalent of like a 16-year-old boy. Up until like 24, boys are still acting like fucking children. You've been telling us that we humanize Feli a lot, which makes sense with how little connection he seems to have towards humans. But in the art and intro, he shows emotions that, at least to me, seem to resemble. I will wait for the second part of that because that'll be interesting to read. They all are chewing. They all are. They're all obsessed with 6-7. You'll be very lucky if I don't put that in the novel. The only reason I would not put that in the novel is for the simple reason that it will not age well in a couple of years. Give it like 3 to 5 years and people will read that and be like, oh, that really ages exactly where this thing was written. Children always have the possibility of growing out of bad habits. Give him time to at least get the character development. Exactly. He has to go through life. I see, angry child. Then I imprint on her and become her biggest supporter because she can do nothing wrong. Yeah, Saoirse's having a good time. Saoirse's having a wonderful life. Saoirse's just doing her own thing, unbothered, unfazed. Unfortunately, dealing now with Evie, who never shuts up, so good luck to her. Saoirse has her own coup. Saoirse is to Feli as Evie is to Cú, so good luck to her. They've raised with other standards, that's why girls mature earlier. Oh no, I know Sabrina Saberhagen. That wasn't a thing of like, you know, biologically, they naturally reach maturity earlier. No, it's because as a society, we let boys get away with way too fucking much. We do too much. Oh, it's just a boy being a boy rather than they're a child being a child. But at the same time, responsibilities and teachings have to happen. Corrections have to occur. But yeah, unfortunately, we overcorrect girls and undercorrect boys and let them get away with all kinds of things, especially depending on the family. It all depends on the parents more than anything. But yeah, we overly correct girls because it's more of like oh, you have to act this way. And with boys, it's more of they're just kids. Let them get away with it. They'll grow out of it. He can do no wrong. He's my baby. He's going to carry my name in the future in our bloodline. And yeah. Jeremy, how dare you? God damn it, Jeremy. I grabbed that one and now it's been on screen for like 3 minutes. Thanks, Jeremy. See, everybody is obsessed with 6-7. Those are humans, so they maybe question if Feli was human once, or if he used to have a more deep connection with humanity, and maybe something happened. Ooh, I like the way that you're thinking, Calivishai. We will see as the story goes on, but yeah, you're definitely thinking in the right kind of direction. Kuchan, one of my nieces, just turned 19 months old, and her favorite phrase is, "Hey, yo!" It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing that kids... I have some people in my life that are dab adults that have made me sick of things like mugging, 6'7", flex, face card, and the kids all, you know, that's a kid's thing. But unfortunately, there are adults in like their mid-20s that still do these things that are just... It's cute though. With kids, it's cute. With adults, you kind of want to choke them a little bit. You kind of want to just wrap your arms and just be like, no more, no. You go to sleep now. You go to sleep now. Did summer counseling for 3 summers for elementary school kids. One of them with a bunch of other teens that deserted me at first chance. The boys were nightmares, the girls were decent. It definitely goes both ways. One thing I will say, girls can be the most cruel, vicious creatures in the world. Boys will punch you, be stupid, do absolutely dumb things and get away with it, so they'll keep doing it. Girls, when they're like not mature yet and don't really care as deeply about other people, will say the most venomous and vicious things you've ever fucking heard in your life without batting an eyelid and without having any concern for anyone else. And again, that's another maturing thing. It's just, yeah. The things that comes out of boys' mouths can be quite disgusting and hurtful. The things that comes out of girls' mouths are like, they cut through to the fucking truth. They hurt you in your soul. So yeah, it's not like girls are always angels. It's just very much like, yeah, we unfortunately make girls grow up faster than they have to protect them from a world that really we should protect them from, rather than teaching them to have to protect themselves, because we've got a bunch of pieces of shit in this world. Sensei, thank you for chapters 1 to 3 read through. Sorry I got distracted at the end because Will just showed his abundant cake for free. Bless. Yeah, and that was actually a piece of artwork from Sakuraba Mu that was not commissioned by me, which is even sweeter. Saku just drew that after like hearing about the teachers, learning about their personalities, drawing the designs for them. Just drew a picture of the teachers together, which is the perfect way to like throw that in there and be like, and now the teachers are having a conversation. With Will bent over the table, as they should be. Will just showed their abundant cake. Exactly. Very abundant. To be fair, I mean, the description made it clear. Will could be on a runway. Sensei, you reminded me of the teacher who did a speech about language and alpha/TikTok speak to an assembly. Ugh. I know, I'm too old for this. This is why I have to slowly transition into becoming an actual qualified writer, because my days as a streamer are limited. I'm becoming too old for this shit. I'm going to be the 40-year-old who's just like, I can't do it anymore. Like, we're going to have very relaxed, chill streams in the future that analyze stories and stuff, because I can't keep up with the kids and the trends and the TikToks and shit. All monsters are human. As cheesy as it may sound, evil is not inherently human. You are taught to be cruel by experiences. It takes a violent experience to steal all that's human in you. Very true. And that's an interesting way of looking. I think I know which character you're specifically talking about, but yeah. You could tell us, and if it's okay to ask, when Feli said Cú tried to, did he mean it figuratively or literally? There's a theory. I think that one you're just going to have to read into yourself. But he specifically said us. So, yeah, no, he's specifically saying his actions when it came to what he did in the tier, when he stepped out in front of everyone else. That is what he is complaining about. He's very much saying, this is why I took control. I needed to take control from you. He's saying, you fucked up. You were going to get us killed. I'm not that old myself, but I still look at kids and feel like girls are somewhat meaner. They make groups and stuff, so it's like they go through teenage for 15 years. That very much depends on the girls, and a lot of boys do that as well. A lot of boys can go out of their way to be exclusionary and be hurtful. I think it's just more that boys can be more outwardly cruel for longer and get away with it. Because like I said, it is very much a thing that society lets them get away with it. Other people have to like, they're still full of like raging hormones. but other people have to like hide it. And again, it's not always a split between the binary of like male or female. It can very much be a thing of like, I'm more outwardly cruel. I release like my frustrations this way versus I am scared that that will get me into trouble. So I do it in a bit more of a sneaky way. But yeah, to each their own. In both cases, it's just like people that haven't matured yet that really need to be confident in themselves, figure out themselves more, and realize that if you don't like someone, it's very easy just to take a step away from it. It's also the fact that when you're forced into a school environment, you're just forced with a bunch of other kids where you're all just the same age. You don't necessarily have anything in common. You don't come from the same place. You don't have the same family situation. And you're all shoved into a tiny little building with 30 other kids at a time and one adult trying to take control of that. So yeah, school, public school at least, is a very rough environment. Growing up is very difficult. And yeah, hopefully they just mature, get guided the right way, and become decent adults sooner rather than later, but everybody does it at their own speed. The difference between Cú and Feli is interesting. Cú cares so much about the souls. Feli's seen/hurt too much from the souls and seems to treat them as tasks. Yet still subtly cares about Cú that's human. I like the way you put that, KK Surfer. We will see how that goes further forward in the story. But I like the way that you're reading into that. Thank you very much. Don't forget we age with you, Sensei. That's true as well. That is true as well. We'll probably all be tired of the things and just be grumpy old people together. Even if you turn 40, we'll stay. Remember, some of us are the same age or even older than you. I know. It's just, at some point, society is going to move in a way where I'm just like, I can't keep up with what's popular anymore. So I'm just going to go, you know what, let's just play classic stuff from now on. Let's read classic stuff. Hopefully, if I grow up, if I don't die. Not in any kind of fucked up way. I just mean like die from exhaustion of trying to keep up with trends and stuff. And Jesus, just everything that's happening on Twitter and TikTok nowadays and the way that the world is changing. Oof. There's one scene from the intro that has been stuck in my head since the beginning, so I'm looking forward to / if you speak more about it in the story. Me nerding my blah, 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 blah. My nerder over Feli's existence and Cú's past. Gotcha. All of that will probably be explored. It's going to be a very long story. That's what I will say. It's a very funny thing that I wouldn't say we're fully introduced to the world of Metamorphosis Lost until like 6 or 7 chapters into tier 2, so into Extra 2. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while until you're like, okay, I know all the characters, I know what their deals are, and then you can start to like properly see the interactions and where they're going and how they're developing. How is there another 6, 7? There you go. At some point, I'll get to 67 years old. I said 6 or 7 chapters, didn't I? Fuck, okay, I walked into that one. My BFF described your writing style as elegant/majestic, so I can say for sure that it's pretty interesting. Oh, that's very sweet. My writing style is terrible. I bounce between like purple prose and overly explaining things and connecting things to emotional stuff, and then under-explaining thing and writing just purely like a script, like character dialogue and exactly what they did. So I need to get better at balancing those, but again, this is very much a case of me just like writing the story that I want to write, enjoying the process, and learning along the way. These first 3 chapters I'm quite happy with. There were 1 or 2 things I noticed where I was like, I could do that better. But yeah, so far I think these are the best I can do for now. The next 3 chapters, hopefully as good, and then things might get a bit wonky. That's what rough drafts and revisions are for. Oh, 100%. Like, if I ever do finish this story, I am going to like send it to an editor before I even send it to a publisher to basically like, hey, this is a long stream of consciousness. What do I need to do to fix this? And then we'll like fix everything that didn't work, make things that did work shine the best that they can. And probably by the end of the journey, I'll have like rewritten a few things as well and come back and be like, oh, I could have put like more foreshadowing here, or I should have connected this in this way. And it's a learning process. That's what it all is. I know exactly where the story is. I've plotted it out up until the end of, the end of Extra 4. So I've done the best I can to like prepare myself for this. If I don't like actually write it and release it now, it's just gonna sit in the back of my mind forever. So we're taking steps forward. This is my last year in my 20s. Age starts to weigh in, but I'm still pretty faithful to my interests, no matter what age they started. As you should be. You should never grow out of your interests if they continue to be your interests. 4? Oh yeah, no, I've done like a proper I have a full-on, like, each chapter written down in, like, bullet points. There's a lot of chapters. There's a lot of chapters. But yeah, I've plotted out the whole way, like, seriously, like, bullet point by bullet point, every scene that should happen in each chapter up until the end of Ectra 4. And then Ectra 5, I know exactly what happens in it, but I did not have the time before my debut to fully, like, commit myself to writing that out. So that one's going to be a bit more freeform, or maybe take myself a bit longer to plot out before I start writing properly. We'll see. Releasing the story chapter by chapter as it's written is such a massive undertaking. You're so impressive for that. Stole it from web novel writers. I honestly, part of me thinks it's more impressive to just fully lock in and just write an entire novel. Writing it chapter by chapter, it means that the quality will change as it goes on. Some of my writing style will change as it goes on. I'll probably get a better idea for like some of the subplots and where I should have like written them earlier on and foreshadowed them and teased things later on, but it is what it is. So I'm going to have fun with it. And then, yeah, once we're actually done releasing the first novel, then I can think about like making full revisions throughout the entire thing and seeing what happens. Will Metamorphosis be longer than Urha? I have no idea. I have no idea. For one thing, it's planned to be a trilogy. The first book is probably going to be like 700 pages. So I have no idea, and that's the thing. I'm not limiting it by the idea of like, oh, it has to be X amount long. One of the biggest things that I needed to get over myself on when it came to this was realizing that to tell the proper story, there's gonna be a lot of things that feel like they're disconnected throughout the story until you get to like a certain point, and then you're gonna realize like, oh, these were actually all important subplots that were building up into the story and that are very important to the characters and the theme and everything. But yeah, a lot of them, there is going to be occasional things where people are going to be like, get back to this thing. Stop paying attention to this thing. Ditch that thing. I don't like this thing. There's going to be a lot of ones along the way where people are going to like have their favorite parts, and people are going to have bits where they're like, that's stupid. Why are you wasting time on this? It's just the way I want to write it, because this is a story about life. And life has multiple layers, multiple things going on, multiple things that like drag you away from different scenarios, that pull you away from what you want to be doing and make you focus on other things for a little while just for survival or for anything else. It's like Lord of the Rings. Maybe. Maybe. Just that one's actually written well. But yeah, this is the thing. It's not going to be a thing where it's going to be like, oh, we're going to write this first book within a year and we'll be done. It's going to be a thing where this is just like what I'm going to be doing in the future. I'm going to be writing an expanding story. And then whenever I get like bored or distracted, or I kind of get like mind locked or writer's block, I can just be like, okay, and now we're going to do a side story from like, I don't know, January. We're going to do a story from January where Féileacán and Cú are at this stage in their relationship and they're dealing with a tear, and just lock in on like a lost soul that I had an interesting idea for. There can be all kinds of spin-offs to this because they can travel to all kinds of universes. So yeah, it is very much a case of like, there's the main story that's going to go on, and if I ever do get frozen and just need to like do something silly for a bit, there can also be like side stories that I do not necessarily host on the main part of the blog and possibly put off as like side stories on the blog, and just be like, and this is what I want to write right now. I'm going to dive into this for a few weeks and just do a short story about this kind of lost soul. So yeah, those ones will probably just focus on lost souls and not have much to do with the real life stuff, because the real life stuff is really more focused into like the main journey and the main growth of the characters. As a young writer, if you read my writing, you would freaking cringe, dude. Your writing is so beautiful. Don't even worry about it, Sensei. That's very sweet of you. It also takes me a very long time, though. But thank you. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. There are still things that I look at and cringe fucking hard, but I'm doing my best. I'm also writing in a strange writing style, but it is the one that comes most naturally to me, that I'm trying to do this story of for a reason, which is the present first person. First person present tense is it's an interesting one. There are very few novels that are written that way because it limits you in a lot of ways, but at the same time it does give to certain things that I really wanted to lean into with like the way that you're introduced to this world. Writers should be allowed to write cringe. Oh, 100%. Just don't get affected by us too much. Write what you want. Don't become Airplane from Scum Villain Self-Saving System. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not going to become Hamster Bro. I'm good. I'm going to be cringe and free. Like I've said, this is a passion project. I'm going to do my best to make people be able to enjoy it, but I'm going to tell my story the way I want to tell it. And there will be people who like it. There will be people who like bits and then hate other bits. There will be people that like certain characters a lot and hate what I do with them. That's just part of being a creator. So we'll see how people like change their views on things as we develop things. I'm glad so many people like Saoirse. And people seem to really like the Will/Cú ship, which, you know, it is what it is. It's, you know, if you guys want to enjoy that in your own way, feel free to. We shall wait patiently, and as always, write what you want to write. It's a story for you that you're sharing with us, and we're honored to be here every step of the way. Exactly. For me, this is just a project that I think it's just part of my journey. Like, there are a lot of things in my life where I felt like this is the thing I need to be doing right now. This is the story I need to be writing right now. And I think I need to do it to like grow and develop as a writer and just as a person as well. Like, it's something that I need to get out of me because it's something I constantly keep coming back to and thinking about. This kind of world building is actually nice if you want to self-indulgently interact with characters from franchises you like. Like, literally Fata Morgana can be a tier on its own. It could be. And actually, Fata Morgana does do a similar thing with Michelle going through the different doors and embracing different timelines, fuck. That is so similar. A lot of my favorite stories do a similar thing. I mean, technically Chronicles of Narnia does it every time they go to Narnia. But yeah, Rakuen by Laura Shigihara, who, you know, lent us the amazing What You Mean to Me beautiful song we get to use at the end of every stream, which has our animation as its video. Like, that's, again, another story where you're diving into a world created by other people. Fata Morgana does the same thing, even though they're specifically timelines and different lives of people. The main reason Metamorphosis Lost was actually influenced by was a game called Alundra. And I think I've talked about this back in my debut, but it's a game called Alundra where there's characters called Dreamwalkers. And they can dive into a character. I keep saying dive as well. That's not even like a proper verb, but they are able to telekinetically like enter other people's dreams. And when they enter other people's dreams, they're able to see their nightmares, things that like torment them, as a physical manifestation. So they go into another world inside people's dreams and kind of interact with their dreams to find out what kind of issues they're dealing with in their real life as told through their subconscious. So the tiers are very much based around that. But yeah, it's also like a lot of my favorite stories, Rakuen, Fata Morgana, follow a similar storyline of like people traveling into other worlds that are based on reality. Even Persona specifically 5, you dive into a character's like subconscious in their mind palace things. Have you played Psychonauts? I have not played Psychonauts, but yeah, Persona, very similar, especially number 5. Number 4 and 3, it's less specifically about like the characters. Well, no, 4 is as well. 4 and 5, you're dealing with characters' psychology, creating their own worlds that they explore and interact with. So yeah. He said innocently, looking forward to the not safe for work fan art. 100% Moon Kindred. It's kind of well, sorry. Yeah, but Fata Morgana is beautiful and does such an amazing job of it. I really appreciate the writing style, Sensei. It was easy for me to understand. There wasn't so many big words for me to dissect, since really big words are hard for me to understand. Yeah, I try not to use like super in-depth words, because I feel like when you do, if you like need a specific word that is very specific and fills a role, then yes. But yeah, if you go out of your way to use fancy words because you want people to be like, oh, how highbrow, how interesting, how mature you are, then it's like, you're trying too hard. And I am not a smart man. I feel like more simplistic writing, but then actually knowing the reason that you're using your specific word choice is much more important. I adore how much you weave your stories in and out of your own life. Even without knowing everything, we can feel your heart in it. Aw, thank you, Ophelia. I hope it does like come across more as we go forward as well. She reminds me a lot of some kids I encountered when I used to work at an elementary school. It's difficult to gain their trust, but when you manage to form a bond with them, it's a truly warm feeling. Plus, she is the new kid who unfortunately had to join a class at the beginning of October. So school has only started for about 4 or 5 weeks at this point. And she's already been moved from one school to another. So yeah, she's been pulled out of her own world a little bit and forced into a new one. So she's dealing with her own thing. But yeah, with those kids, it is very much, normally it is like a defense mechanism. So we'll see as it goes on. What does the word toggy mean? I've never heard that one before. See, that's another one where it's very much like another reason that I like using the present tense when it comes to writing. That is, I can tell you right now, because that's not a big surprise. It's this, yeah, wasn't that just Cú's nickname for the Outer God? Exactly. It's the same where I introduce Feileacan as Feileacan, but then I very quickly have me start calling him just Feili, because he's Feili in my mind. So you very much like have to roll with that and just be like, oh, I guess that's how we're using that word. So he just literally says, praise Toggy. He's saying, praise the Outer God. Tog, T-O-G, Toggy. It's his way of making a joke out of the Outer God and just being like, ah, Toggy. Yeah, that guy. I think they use dive in Inception, so it makes sense. That makes sense. Using it in Inception, God, that's another one where they dive into like a person's mind. And also technically Paprika. Yeah, and Millennium Actress. Millennium Actress and Paprika, both by Satoshi Kon, use a very similar like storytelling technique of like going into a character's mind and making it kind of a world of its own. I think the reason that dive came to me specifically, and this is so like separated, it actually comes from fucking Danganronpa. You know, in Danganronpa 2, every time you do like a logic dive and you do that little thing where you're surfing down a tube to connect the different bits of information together to make an answer. That's actually where, I think that's where dive got into my head, because it's like, I'm doing a logic dive right now. I'm diving into the tier right now. For some reason, that's how it like connected in my brain. Writing can be such an awesome way of freeing your mind. Please share with us all you want and enjoy, Sensei, without pressure. It would always be a pleasure being able to read your work. Yeah, no, this is very much like a passion project for me. So this is something I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to have a lot of fun doing, but it'll take all the time that it needs. If I get into writer's block or need a break for a while, I will. I'm hoping to like storm my way through tier 1 right now. Up to the end of chapter 6, it's already up to 60 pages. And the first extra is either going to be 9 or 10 chapters. So that'll by itself probably be like 110 pages. But again, it's not something that I worry about when it comes to page length. It's just like, when is it at least an hour so I can do a read through? Is all that I'm really focusing on when it actually comes to the length. As long as it takes, it takes. And if I need to cut things down like in a second draft someday in the future, I will. But for now, it's got to be the story that I want to bring out. Tears remind me so much of one of the games I've played before. I think the game was mentioned before from the recommendations, but the game is A Space from the Unbound. Is that the plotline of A Space from the Unbound? I really need to play that, apparently. That's been on my list for a long time. Fuck, is that... I always get A Space for the Unbound confused with one other game. One of them is Filipino, one of them is Indonesian. I think A Space for the Unbound is the Indonesian one, right? But both are about like teenagers. But I had no idea that one of them dealt with like fantasy and diving into like fantasy worlds. So yeah, that would be very interesting. Now I'm more interested in actually diving into that one. Paprika the vegetable? Paprika? No, Paprika is a movie directed by Satoshi Kon, who also did Millennium Actress, Perfect Blue, and Tokyo Godfathers. One of the absolute best directors of all time, and so fucking good. Like, his writing was incredible. The way he directed animation, nobody has been able to do it quite like him. And he's inspired so many other movies since then because of the way that he did things. He unfortunately lost his life very early before he could complete like his 6th movie, which is a tragedy, and nobody has been able to step up and complete it, even though there's a very clear framework of what he wanted, just because everyone else was like, no, there's no way we can bring this to life with animation. But yeah, in Paprika, it's like a virtual world kind of thing where they learn to go inside people's dreams, and inside their dreams, they kind of like are in different bodies, they have different forms, and they feel a bit more free. Logic doesn't work. Paprika, there are specific scenes in Paprika that were literally stolen for the movie Inception. So Paprika heavily influenced Inception, but there are straight up like scenes in Inception that are straight up ripped out of Paprika. Like not super subtly when it comes to like gravity messing around and other things like that they did their best to recreate in live action. Your writing is lovely. It's poetic but to the point. Like a sword with such a pure blade. It sings through the air, making your message heard in an artistic way. I'm sure it'll continue to be owned. Hound, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. You wrote that more beautifully than I write my actual writing. So thank you very much for the sweet words. I will do my best to get better at writing as we go on and just hopefully be faster at actually writing what I want to write. But I'm having fun writing, so that's what matters the most. Paprika is spicy Indonesian food. That's true as well. It is also a spice. Paprika is the name of a character in that movie. So yeah. Compared to using ornate vocabulary in writing, I prefer clearly compared... Ah, God, I need to move myself. I'm always slightly in these. Compared to using ornate vocabulary in writing, I prefer clearly depicting scenes so that readers can form vivid images in their minds. Yeah, like I said, I think the most important thing is making sure that your word choice is specific to, like, if you're using words, they should be important to the story. It should not just be like, oh, I want this to sound beautiful, or oh, I want this to sound fancy. You should be thinking, like, what are the characters thinking? Why would they describe it this way? How does this connect to, like, the psychology of everything? There are times you obviously just need to, like, set a setting or something, but yeah, you shouldn't just be using fancy words because this is a fancy word. It should be a fancy word because this is the best word to, like, cut out a full sentence and just bring it down to a single word which holds the same meaning. Also, Netherling Raid, hello. I hope you're all having a lovely day. We just did our first read-through of my original novel, Metamorphosis Lost, and it went pretty good. Pretty good. I only screwed up like 4 or 5 times, and most of it was not too terrible. The pacing was definitely a bit... the pacing I need to work on, my confidence I need to work on, but most of the things went off without a hitch. There was one point I was naked. There was one point when I was in the wrong costume. And there were a couple of times I fumbled while trying to, like, read, like, oh, what's the music supposed to be? I'm supposed to change it to this song right now. But yeah, we did our first Metamorphosis Lost read-through, and the first 3 chapters will be up on the blog as soon as we're done with this stream. But welcome, everybody. I hope you're having a lovely day. What was Zanny up to this morning? I was watching Zanny drunkenly drive through roads yesterday, which was a lot of fun. It was a good way to end my day. What was he up to today? Because yeah, we just had a good time. If you don't know, I am Féileacán and Cú. I am a VTuber, independent. I look like this. This is Feileacan, although my costume is now doubled, so let me just fix that. But we're reading Metamorphosis Lost, my story about this creature, Féileacan, the Reaper of Souls, who possesses the body of me, Cú. I'm gonna be naked again. Fuck. That's fine. I'll put my cardigan back on. There we go. Me, Cú, a 33-year-old primary school teacher. I really need to get better at switching outfits without being naked. Also, yeah, this is one of the surprises for today. Some of the surprises you already saw during the read-through, you kind of saw this one, but the cardigan is now fully rigged. We can use it. Rhea finished this like a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna save that. We got flashed. Yeah, you did. But yeah, now we've got the full cardigan. I can even do the pointy arm with it. It all moves realistically. Look at the way the cardigan like slips up and down my wrist. Rhea did such a good job. Oh my god. So yeah, now we've got the cardigan fully rigged, so I can also grab my Pupal buddies. Oh, that's right. That's over here. Grab my Pupal buddies and just like cuddle you guys whenever I feel like. So yeah, we've got the full cardigan now. We don't always have to be sleeveless, more nude, more lewd. We got our little butterfly tail down there too. Wee, wee, wah, wah. But yeah, if you want to catch up with the story, feel free to go watch the previous video that I just did. We're just having a discussion after that to talk about some of it, because I made the story just like one streamlined me reading the story kind of story time feel, so that people who want to listen to it while they're at bed don't get too distracted by a bunch of like laughing and giggling and tangents that go on for hours. So if you want to enjoy that, feel free to watch it whenever you want. The actual like written versions of the chapters will be up on the blog about 10 to 15 minutes after I'm done with the stream. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Really relate to Saoirse's defensiveness and anxiety. I transferred schools a lot as a kid, and walking into places where everyone already knew each other just made me want to run away. Yeah, that's the thing. These kids have all been together in the school, probably from primary school. So they've all been together for like 6 years as it is for most of them. And they also started the year together and got a proper introduction to each other about 4 to 5 weeks before this. So she's been thrown in with everybody else already being friends and, you know, new teacher, new adult. It's stressful. Also, Rafa, thank you so much for the 5 gifted scholarships. I hope you're having a lovely day and thank you so much for being here. And if you're new to the scholarship, please do check out the membership tab. If you want to see like some behind the scenes stuff, there's also 2 images from upcoming chapters of Metamorphosis Lost. Sakurabamu has been doing incredible, beautiful art for us, which is really nice. Being a new kid is always hard. Yeah, it is, for sure. Here's a bad Pupal pun to celebrate 1 month. You should throw a Pupal as a picnic party, but it would quickly turn into a barbecue. That works on multiple levels. I love that you managed to throw the arson joke into there as well. But barbecue is good. I give that one like a straight 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Imagine Sensei wrapping us in his arms with a cardigan. Prita? Aww. That would be cute. Yeah, I could like dip you down a bit further into like the crook of my arm and just like, I could even put you into like the sleeve. The sleeves are huge. You get tucked up inside there and just curl yourselves up. Maybe like attached to like my forearm and just get cuddly. Oh God. Half body, please. All my buttons are all over the place right now. It's done and fun for a few months. Why are we doing arson now? They just do it. They just like burning down the classroom. It is what it is. Jay, thank you so much for donating another gifted scholarship to the Pupals. I hope you're having a lovely day, and thank you so much for being here. We have the amazing arts in the Memby tab and incredible voice packs. Yeah, we also have 3 short voice packs. I mean, I say short. They're longer than most voice packs from others, but they're like 10 to 15 minutes, 3 of them with like different styles. So yeah, be sure to check out all of that stuff. We also have, whenever we get like a Metamorphosis Lost webtoon chapter, it also releases like a week early on the membership. Yeah. I want to be dipped in honey mustard. Okay. Don't let your dreams just be dreams. You can do that whatever you want. Gets put in the sleeve. Cú makes a large motion and we accidentally fly out the window. Defenestration, baby. That was our word of the day, like our first stream. So that's perfect. Short? Voice pack is short? I mean, it's short compared to we do like 6 to 7 hour streams here. So anything under half an hour is very short. The read-through stream was pretty short, so... Although I really like the design of the butterfly jacket, I prefer Sensei's biceps more. Sensei, take off your jacket. No! I'm finally in proper teacher mode. I'm finally in proper teacher mode where I don't have to think about the idea of like... people checking out my arms. It's the same as Will wearing their like oversized jacket and glasses. In fact, yeah, I'll put the glasses on too. Look, I'm a respectable teacher. I'm a respectable teacher. See? I'm so mature. I'm not showing off any of my body. Never moved from school to school, but I have been moved from class to class, which stinks because as a gifted student, it sucks. I have to deal with annoying kids who are somehow also gifted. Yeah, gifted doesn't necessarily mean well-behaved. It's cold season, he'd get chilly without his butterfly cardigan. Exactly, I need the extra warmth. Let me enjoy it. It's been so long. It's been 4 months. Let me enjoy my cardigan. Congrats on the drop of Metamorphosis Lost, Sensei. We'll have to watch the VOD, but I can't wait. The cover looks amazing. I'm sure the story matches it. I don't think my story will ever live up to the beautiful artwork of both Rock and Sakurabamu. Like, they have such incredible art styles that are so unique and beautiful and detailed. And, I do my best. It's a fun story, but I am very lucky in the fact that I can also be inspired by other people, as well as Dorwood. Dorwood, who does like all the backgrounds for the tiers. We're using like a mixture of different tiers for different things, but when it comes to the tiers specifically, like Hannah's tier and the upcoming ones that will involve like Cashlan and other worlds, Yeah, they're all drawn by Dorwood, and I can't wait to show you guys the next one. The next one's so cool. The next one is a really unique one, and it also, when Dorwood drew it, they made sure to give like a proper detailed explanation. Like, I've got a layout of it to figure out like a top-down layout of what the area looks like, just so I can drop that on the blog. Not necessarily during the read-throughs, but be like, and here's like an actual like map version. So it's so nice to be able to work with so many people that do such an amazing job and keep inspiring me. Can Sensei take off the sweater but just have the cardigan? Let me put it this way. Ria provides. Ria provides. Now, as I said, it's cold, so we're not doing that today, but I did not ask for that, and yet Ria provided it. So yes, I can just be wearing the cardigan and no shirt. One time a kid said he'd have our history teacher get a, they said that. One time he said he'd give our history teacher a Labubu. Labubu's only started being a thing like a year ago, right? So, damn, you were in school really recently. I have a feeling Will could steal Sensei's cardigan, which, go on, King, we would not tell anyone. I think that would be bad for the school, frankly. I don't think that would be a healthy work environment. But also, I was joking. Joke away as much as you want. Like, yeah, sure. Papa does serve. Ria does serve. God bless Ria for all their skills. Exactly. It's the same. I never actually asked for a topless one. We just had like a naked model just to make sure that we could put other outfits on top of it in the future without having to redraw the body each time. And yeah, no, it's just hilarious to me that Ria is just constantly like, the fans are gonna like this. Don't worry, I got you. Ria was like, I mean, we have the naked model. I'll keep your pants on, but I can at least take your top off. Same for this one. It was like, well, we already have the topless rigged version. I might as well let you just be able to have the cardigan, but not the top. God damn it. There is one Norwegian song that comes to mind. The translation title is She's in Love with the Teacher. Okay. Okay. There's also a Western song like that. I forget the name of it. I think it's just called Hot for Teacher, actually. So it's a bit more drastic, a bit more to the point. Do you think Will would call Cú a Lakuku since they already called him Cuckoo? Oh God, I hope not. I haven't had to deal with Lakukus or Labubus from adults so far, so who knows? Everyone say thank you, Ria. I have said thank you, Ria, a lot, but yeah, Ria's also working on other things. We're gonna have some more surprises by the end of tier 1. There are some things that are already completed that I can share as we go on, but then there are also more surprises that'll probably be around tier 2. Ria and Rock have been cooking, as well as like Hal on some things. Like this model still hasn't reached its final form yet. Even without like any additions, it's just like certain other fun things. He's giggling, he's up to something. I don't know what you mean. Sensei just enlarged us, and only then did I realize we have fluffy fur. I thought our bodies were smooth like insects. It's kind of like fur on top of like chitinous body forms. Bah. Like you guys are kind of fluffy up around like the face and stuff. You guys are fluffy. It's just more the legs that are more chitinous and more like solidy, buggy stuff. The rest of it has like a light bit of fur over it, which grows as you get bigger, turns into the cocoon which spins around you guys, and then eventually becomes full-on like dog fur once you're in your final form. But yeah, you guys are a little fuzzy. You're little fluffy guys, so you can get like scooches. I do not like that giggle. Good. Live in fear. There is more to come. More fun and suffering for everybody. So like woolly bears, furry but insect legs. Yeah, kinda. I mean, you guys are supposed to be like caterpillar dogs. So yeah. Spiders can be fluffy too. Exactly. And like caterpillars. Caterpillars have little hairs on them as well. Some of them. Not all of them, but quite a few. Someone give Will a Lakuku. We already have a Lakuku asset. I've never used it, but the same person who did our beautiful reverse Uno asset has an asset where it's Féileacan's arm holding a Lakuku. I have never put it in to I have never put it in to OBS or VTube Studio, but we do have a Lakuku. Let us see it. Well, if you go to my list of credits and you click the one that has the reverse Uno, they posted them both in the same tweet. So if you click on the one that is the reverse Uno asset link in my credit section, it will also take you. There are 2 images, a Lakuku as well. It's a reverse Uno. And it's just Feli's arm holding a little Lakuku. Unholy creation, but also slightly fluffy and cute. Yeah, both the Pupals and a Lakuku. God, I've started something horrible. Yeah, good on you. This is what you've done to the world. Ugh. Bibbleku when? Hopefully never. For the love of God, please no. Benji, thank you so much for donating the flowers. Today's reading was so good, I can't wait for more. Tomorrow is my birthday, so this feels like an early birthday gift. You and your streams are such a warm source of comfort for me. I'm really happy to be a Pupal. Happy early birthday, Benji. I hope you have a wonderful birthday tomorrow, and thank you so much. That's so sweet to hear. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope your birthday goes wonderful, and the rest of this year is incredible. And thank you for such sweet messages. I hope you continue to enjoy this space. I have the one and only gold 24 karat gold. Oh, wait. 24 karat gold Lakuku. Why would it even be gold? If anything, shouldn't it be silver? Because, you know, the silver would, like, match the hair and the outfit more. Show us, Sensei. No, do your own homework. Find it yourself. I'm not going fishing for it. Did you notice that the teacher's jacket is the same color as our fur? Maybe the Sensei made the jacket out of the fur of the Pupals. Now you're asking the right questions. Who knows? Claudines, thank you so much for donating the flowers. Kuchan, I recommend giving Feli a little spanking session to warm him up. I don't think that would make him warmer. I think that would make him kill me. I don't want to be on the other side of that whip. I saw what it did to Hannah. So probably not. Probably not. Silk Moth Farm moment. Did we have to go to farm? Did we have to go to the idea of, like, milking a Pupal? Like they milk caterpillars? Because they do that. They take silkworms and they just milk them in the lab. Same as spiders. Theoretically, we can spin Sensei's clothes out of our silk. You could. Maybe that's how my assets get made. Ari stopped me and my sister made that joke yesterday, ranting about how mad Percy Jackson made me. Oh, God. Percy Jackson, the books are good. Sensei being ungrateful because being blessed with such beautiful assets. They're to be shown, Sensei. Indulge your children. Some other day. Some other day. You shaved us? I would never. Why would I shave when I can just pluck? Someone in the works? There's a bald Pupal out there. Well, you could just cut off half of the Pupal, let it grow back, and just use that first half and pluck it. We can make milk silk. You can milk silk. You can milk silk. That is still technically the term that they use. They say they milk caterpillars, worms, spiders. They talk about milking them, even though they just use like little pliers and just kind of like pull back like the thorax a little bit and just kind of yank and yank and yank. They call it milking. We always have the books, Diane. Yeah, exactly. It was the show that made me feel anger worse than Cú. Oh, gotcha. Do not milk the Pupals or we'll make our cocoons from your hair. Please don't. Please don't. Which means you just pull the fur out of us. I didn't say anything. I just suggested. I made suggestions. Anything you guys interpret from that is your own problem. Like the Beedrill gif. I have not seen this gif, but that sounds terrifying. They have a Beedrill being milked as a gif? Fuck. Honey, thank you so much for donating the flowers. Otsuku! Thank you for a fantastic introduction to the story. You did a great job giving first impressions of the characters, and I really enjoyed seeing the relationship between Feli and Cú. Thank you so much. Yeah. The relationship between Feli and Cú is going to be a large part of the story going forward, but again, it's another thing that has to be balanced with like tears, lost souls, real life, kids, teachers, so everything will come in its time. Maybe phrasing on purpose. Who knows? What did they do to the Beedrill? Apparently they milked it. Apparently. It's using string shot, Sensei. Oh, so it's less that it's being milked. It's more that it's, you know, unleashing its own load. That's okay. Kushami, I'm not even clicking on that. I can see just by reading the beginning of that I probably should not click on that one. If you don't mind being asked, what was it that Cú told Will not to say? Or is it free reign if Pupals wish to make jokes from it? Actually, like I said, I'm doing this writing shit properly this time. I have plans. You can theorize, you can guess all that you want to. You might be able to figure it out actually pretty easily by Will and Cú's dynamic. What Will might also say. So yeah, but you will find out in another 2 chapters, I think. But yeah, Will doesn't stay silent for too long. They have their own mind and they have their own will. Will has their own will. Damn it. I didn't even think about that wordplay. Really pink Beedrill flashes? What? I don't even want to know. Pokemon fans be freaky, is all I'm going to say. Work husband, I'm calling it. Nah. I'll let you guys keep theorizing, though. Nope. Genyo Kosaka, thank you so much for donating the allowance. Congrats on the novel release. I love how it was presented on stream. That was awesome. And the arts are so good. Looking forward to more chapters. Thank you so much. Yeah. I tried to make it as like digestible as I could for people on stream. It's not the best that it could be, for sure. For one thing, when I read it, I have to literally make my Word document bright green so I can chroma key out the web pages. That's why you get those like little black and white bits. That's lines between each page on just a Word document. My only other option was transforming every single paragraph into like an image so it would look more like a visual novel. But I've kind of tried to make it look as much like a visual novel as I can, while also making it easy to both write and to just read without having to, turn every single paragraph into a separate image that I could go through text box style. So I've done my best. I've made it look as much of a visual novel as I can. And I have like all my buttons on my stream deck to like change images and backgrounds and do my best to switch music and stuff. So there's a lot of work going into trying and making it look presentable, even though it's not always perfect. Also the fact that sometimes I have to go through each time and like click out all the speech errors that get like the underlines under them, and unfortunately a few of them were left in this time, especially at the end of chapter 3 where I'm using like colloquialisms and wrong punctuation when it comes to like characters speaking and stuff. It can get a little bit glitchy. Multitasking is insane. Yeah, it's a lot of buttons. Why not save the Word document into a PDF with the green background? Because then I go back and like edit like little things probably every other week. So I'd have to continuously like recreate it essentially. The way I do it is fine. It just means that I transform the background green before I read it and then I turn it back to black before I end it. Turn it back to dark mode. What if Will is the villain IRL and they're manipulating us with their cuteness? Could be. Could be. I mean, unless you have a character like Saoirse who's very obvious about her feelings. You never know what a character is thinking just on the surface level. Thanks for sharing this story with us through live reading. No problem. Watching the story being built right before my eyes brings me such happiness. Otsu. Thank you so much. And what an adorable little cow emoji. I'm sorry it got like destroyed a little bit, but the little paws are so cute. Thank you so much, Yukako. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Fair enough, Sensei, speaking as a long-term Pokemon fan. True, but how dare? I know what Pokemon fans get up to, and it's fine. It's fine. Have fun with your fandom. Have fun with the things that Typhlosion does to humans. And, you know, the crazy shit that some of the Pokemon do, like that balloon one that kidnaps children, or the stuff that Drowsy does to people. Def Kuzu, thank you so much for donating to the allowance. Otsu for the read-through. I'm really invested in this story and all of their relationships, either to Cú or to each other. For some reason, I feel like all of them has something more hidden still. Oh, they definitely do, as does everybody in real life. So yeah, hopefully we'll discover that as time goes on. Hopefully I'll write it well and there'll be like good hints of what's coming without, you know, it becoming too obvious either by the time it actually gets released. Program a visual novel just for Metamorphosis Lost. God, I wish. Who knows? If the story does well and gets attention, you know, there could be a future for something like that. But we'll see. I couldn't program it. That's what I'll say. I use Google Docs and it doesn't have dark mode made natively on PC. It does on the app version. I had to get an extension for it. Ah, got you. See, for me, specifically, this is the only reason I have Microsoft Office, is so that I can have Word, because Word has a lot of the features I kind of need for the way that I use things. There are other document ways that I also like back it up on Google Docs online, but just for the streams and the read-throughs especially, like I need it on this way. And even then, the text doesn't look super clear because of the green screening it, but it's as clear as I can make it. Sensei, the font you chose. See, that's the problem. The font isn't actually that weird. The font is the fact that there's a green background cut up around it. So it looks a bit more like bulgy and twisty than it actually is. It's just the best case scenario I can do of like making it able to be scrolled through so I don't have to do each individual paragraph as a separate image. Yeah. I use ellipsis most of the time. I'm really fond of their formatting in dark mode. Plus it's easy to download and transfer files, something I really need currently. Gotcha. The devs are called Game Freak for a reason. Oh god, Diflosion? Yup. Well, it's a bit slimy, so I'm keeping my eyes on them. They're a kid. They're 23. They're not really an adult yet. They're barely out of university, so we'll see. We'll see. Need help with my writing? I have a club I'm in with a teacher, and I'm writing my own myth from scratch. And as a perfectionist, it sucks because I'm more critical with myself than anyone else is with me. That tends to be one of my biggest problems as well. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you look at your own work and you fucking hate it. But at the same time, you are not a perfect professional writer. And even professional writers can sometimes hate themselves. There are just sometimes you need to get things on the page, correct them as you go forward and when you have time for it. But yeah, you have to get things on the page first and actually keep writing. So just keep going. But yeah, creating a myth from scratch sounds so cool. I haven't actually done anything like that before where it's like full world building of like creating a mythology in the background. So I'm sure that's a lot of fun to do. I love Scrivener for writing, but it wouldn't be conductive to stream live reads. Yeah, I've heard Scrivener is really good. One of the people who's like writing videos I watch, Abby Emmons, talks about Scrivener a lot and how much they use it for not just the actual writing itself, but also for like the plot lining and having like the different plot points in a very like simple, digestible way. The way I'm doing it just kind of works very simply. It's not the best, but I just have like one Google document that is the storyline just written out in bullet points, chapter by chapter, and then just a normal Word document. I'm just lazy. If it helps me collect my information and it can be put onto stream, I'm happy. By the way, I praise the music. Thank you. Yeah, we had an amazing creator do all the music for this. So we've got like a bunch of songs that aren't technically on the Metamorphosis Lost soundtrack that we're allowed to use as well, thanks to Alec. Alec Kachan made this entire soundtrack by themselves over like 4 months. So the Metamorphosis Lost soundtrack is 13 songs long. And we have about 16, I feel like, other ones that are like fantasy based that'll be used in different parts of the story as well. But I really like it. They did a wonderful job. They caught like the emotions so well. It's like a little bit gothic, a little bit like dark. We even have, I can't wait to use this one. I'm just gonna play this one right now because this captures the theme that I'm gonna need later on so well. Oh, it's so good. It's so creepy. Alec the GOAT? Yeah, Alec fucking cooked when he made this soundtrack. Alec is so peak. Yeah. If it works, it works. Exactly. If I can get through the read-throughs, I'm good. $5 on Will being in love with Cú. We'll see. We'll see. If nothing else, there's always fan fiction. There's always fan fiction and fan art to enjoy. Goodness knows I'm only satisfied with my story after the 5th draft, but darn it, I'll at least get 9,000 words done in one sitting before worrying about that. Exactly. Sometimes you just got to put out things on the page that do happen to just be like scene, like action by action, just description of basic movements. And then you come back and be like, okay, now let's describe this perfectly. Take out some of these actions, put in like actual other senses involved in it and what the character would be seeing specifically and focusing on rather than just everything that's going on one by one. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta write. Remember too, any published book you read has been through several revisions, multiple beta readers, and at least one pro editor. No writer produces publishable content in one draft. Exactly. Except for Stephen King. But that's Stephen King. Stephen King's at the point where he can write 3 books a year. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but good for him. Doesn't even do drugs anymore, so I don't get it. Existential dread? Exactly. And now we'll switch off because that's a bit intense. But yeah, all of these songs capture their emotions so well. Even like the little cutesy one, the little like classroom comedy theme is really nice. And R.L. Stine as well. True, R.L. Stine too. You know what's crazy? The vibes remind me of Akatsuki no Yona. I love the historical feel it has, like historical political drama. I missed the read-through, so I'll go back to actually listen. So you mean the music catches that vibe? Fair enough. Akatsuki no Yona is wonderful. I'm so happy they finally got a season 2 announced, and hopefully it'll actually be good. But yeah, Akatsuki no Yona is beautiful. Your terrible young adult romance novels from my cold hands. There's nothing wrong with young adult novels. Like, one of my greatest writing inspirations is, God, I can't remember the writer's name right now, but Hunger Games. God, why can't I remember her name? But the reason that her writing is so simplistic is because her actual training, like her actual career, was spent as a script writer and TV writer. So when she writes, Suzanne Collins, thank you. So when she writes, everything is very simplistic. It's like the bare minimum of description, and then it is just like actions that happen. But you still get like such a beautiful, vivid image of things while they're going on. Like the way she describes Katniss, the only way she ever describes her is like wearing a hunting coat, being underweight, and having a long brown ponytail that's like super long and thick. Other than that, she doesn't describe anything, but pretty much everybody had the exact same image of Katniss Evergreen, like going through the story. And it's the same for all the actions. She like gets all the plotline out really well without necessarily spending too much time. Like a lot happens in that first book, and it's only a few hundred pages. Even like the later books, like descriptions get a bit more vivid, but still, it's just like everything is so streamlined. A lot goes on in very little content. But yeah, Suzanne Collins is really good. Speaking of which, new Hunger Games movie? Oh, the one about Haymitch? Yeah, I'm not so interested in that one, but I did end up liking the one about Snow. The actual like things that happened in that movie weren't great. It was more like the development of the character of Snow himself that was like, oh, that's sick. Sounding a little bit dread. Yeah, no, that's why I'm so shocked by that one. That one, the inspiration for it, there was a couple of different inspirations, but the main one was the theme at the end of Annihilation, where the main character is battling with an alien, and it's like, oh, this captures existential dread so well. Someone's out there noting down polyships, and I'll be there for it. Fair. Speaking of authors like Stephen King and R.L. Stine, do any of their stories scare you? Like, you know nothing's wrong, but still the hair on the back of your neck pricks up? Less the stories themselves, because it's less what happens in the stories and more like some of the mythologies that they build up. R.L. Stine, not really. I find it's very hard to actually describe horror. It's the same for the stuff that Lovecraft writes. The best fear is actually the fear of unknown. So the more that you write about something, the more you get like a general image of it, but it doesn't really scare you. More so the concept? Yeah, more so the concept. So for like Stephen King, it's more the idea of what some of the characters represent in the greater mythology. The idea of like, oh, you're never getting away from this. This character exists for all eternity and you may be trapped here with them forever. Even in things like The Life of Chuck, which isn't necessarily like a horror thing, it's actually a very optimistic and hopeful look at things. It is still the idea of like being trapped in a certain form of existence. Like a boogeyman? Like a boogeyman. Like the character of it, Pennywise, is very much terrifying. But at the same time, the actions that he does look quite a bit silly. Right now, the concept of the long walk has been hunting me. Just the idea of being pushed to that endurance is torture. Yeah, just knowing that you're going to die. There are all kinds of stories like that where it is very much like the writing itself doesn't scare me, but the actual like feeling of like the idea of imagining yourself in that scenario is much more horrific when you like look back at it and think like, oh God, that's how that reality works. That's terrifying. I mean, look at how many good short stories we have in literature. I have no mouth and I must scream. An inhabitant of Carcosa. Simplicity and shortness doesn't define quality. Exactly. For those kinds of stories, you just want to like build up the mythology, not describe it too much. Just be like, this is what happens. This is how creepy it is. Do we know what caused this? Fuck no. And it may happen to you someday. That's why I like creepypastas. Creepypastas are normally very short as well. They're like a couple thousand words, but they can stick with you way more than like a well thought out like deep mythology. But yeah, I have no mouth and I must scream has to be one of the most terrifying forms of existence anybody has ever dreamed up for humanity. Sensei, have you heard of verse novels? If you permit it, I'd like to try my hand at making a verse novel version of your beautiful story alongside your chapter releases. I would like to Google what that is before I say anything. I have not heard of verse novels, so I'm going to Google this real quick. Verse novels. A novel in verse or verse novel tells a complete story like a traditional novel but uses poetry, often free verse with varying stanzas and line lengths. Oh, so it's just like an epic poem. Got you. Instead of prose paragraphs, blending narrative plot, characters, and themes with poetic devices and structure, making it popular for engaging readers with complex stories and accessible, impactful segments. I would love that. Yeah, no, if my story inspired you enough that you feel like you can write a verse novel out of it, please do. I would love to see that. One of the biggest things about my novel is it's going to contain a lot of things, a lot of things going on. So if you want to just like condense it down to the most important parts, I would love to see what you do with like creating it into a verse novel. So yeah, feel free to. Any fan creations of my work is all good. Please do tag them if you release them on Twitter, just so I can see them with hashtag Metamorphosis Lost, so I can see what you're up to. But whether it's fan art, fan music, fan read-throughs, fan images, videos, a verse novel would be cool as well. I'd love to see that. So yeah, if you feel like you are inspired enough to do some of that, I would love to see what you come up with. You can also, once we know the characters well enough, you can start creating your own stories like based off of them as well. So obviously that's kind of fan fiction, but the fun thing about Féileacán and Cú is the idea that they can go into any other universe. So once you know their personalities well enough, fanfiction could technically just be a part of the actual story where they've just traveled into a different tier kind of thing. The first Goosebumps story I read as a kid was The Ghost Next Door, I think it was called, and it shook 9-year-old me. I read all of his books afterwards. I read so many Goosebumps when I was a kid. The one that freaked me out the most, surprisingly, was the gnomes. That like you shine a light on them and they stop moving, but if you don't shine a light on them, the garden gnomes come and try to like, at first you think they're trying to kill you, but what they actually do to you is actually more creepy in my mind. But yeah, I liked the garden gnomes, whatever that one was called. And I also liked the one about the doll, the ventriloquist doll that just like started doing things itself. Those were both great. God, I don't remember any of the names. I think it's just Night of the Living Doll for the doll one. But yeah, I really liked the garden gnomes. I'm a gnome. No, not a gnome. Still really love Six Deaths of the Saint, and that's also very short and has a wonderful concept. Some of the best storylines are shorts. Annihilation is technically a novella rather than a novel. The Life of Chuck was a short. The Mist was a short. Like, some of the best horror stories, some of the best stories that turn into the best movie adaptations are just very much like, there's only a couple of things that happen. It's only like maybe 100 to 150 pages. And it tells enough of a story that draws you in, interests you in the characters, gives a good like mythology and world thing, and then you're left like digesting it afterwards in a very interesting way. It's hard being overly critical on yourself because you feel like you cannot step back until your work is perfect. But at the same time, it never feels like it is. Exactly. At some point, you've just got to move on and do other things and hopefully come back in the future. Cosmic horror is so interesting to me. Oh, me too. I love cosmic horror. Cosmic horror is definitely the thing that keeps me up at night the most. Whether it's cosmic horror that like connects to Well, it all kind of collects to existential dread, but whether it's connected to like nihilistic feelings or more of like a existential feeling. I guess, yeah, existential dread is like the biggest one, but also like cosmic nihilism. The question of like, are we just so unimportant in the universe that nothing matters in our lives, or does nothing matter? Is existence itself completely worthless since we'll all die and pass away and have no consciousness at some point? Stories that involve that, I think, are like the most haunting and connect to like so many of the phobias that people have eventually come back to the idea of like nihilism, dread, existential dread. So yeah, I think it's hard to write because you need to be able to somehow capture those feelings in writing and make somebody feel existential dread, which can really give you like a sinking stomach feeling and prickling at the back of your neck. Like it all connects to existential dread, thanatophobia, all of that shit. It's so good. Sensei, I woke up late. I just caught up with the chapters and I love them. I'm so intrigued with the unanswered/half-answered questions made to Feli, and your narration is so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. The information is going to trick through very slowly when it comes to like Feli and Cú's relationship, because Feli doesn't have any reason to tell me any of the information. It's very much a case of you're a vessel. If it weren't for the fact that you're able to take control of this body, I would not have to be questioned by you. So yeah, their relationship should be interesting as it goes on. And yeah, we'll be learning things throughout, whether it comes from Feli or it's just things that get discovered along the way. So it should be a fun journey. And thank you so much, Key Diva. That's so sweet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for catching up, even like after the stream was over. Would you be all right with folks doing a book review of sorts of Metamorphosis Lost? Definitely. Yeah, no. You can also leave those in the hashtag if you want to review it, and feel free to be critical as well. It doesn't just have to be, hey, Féileacán, here's exactly what I liked about it. Oh, the characters are so cute and sweet and I liked this thing. You can be like, genuinely low, like some of this writing is like not great here. Like it would be better if you used yet less of this. Like be critical about it if you want to as well. All of that will like help me improve in the future. But yeah, feel free. I would love to see that. I would love to read it. And yeah, I'd love to hear about like the nice bits as well. If you like a character dynamic, or if you're theorizing about what like a character may be thinking or a plot point that might come up in the future, I'd love to see that. Here's what I like. Attaches all the documents, no notes. How dare. The one where the kid turned invisible haunted me. Oh, I forgot that one. The ventriloquist traumatized me. Yeah, Night of the Living Dummy. That was so good. Only one goosebumps that really scared me, and that was the dead house, especially at the end of the episode when it was revealed they got to the pupper as the family drove away. That I don't have any idea about. The Body from Stephen King was a novella, and it became one of the best movies I still watch every year. The Mist is a really good movie as well. I didn't like the fucking series, but the movie adaptation of The Mist was really good, and that one was pretty short as well. I have these two anthologies, one for steampunk, the other for monsters. All the stories are short but very good. Sometimes a novella or like a very short story is exactly what you want. It's focused, it's to the point. You get an interesting story without it overstaying its welcome. So it's great. True, not a horror story, but Arrival was also based on a short story. Yeah, Arrival was based on a short story, and that's one of the best pieces of both literature and filmmaking of all time. The film adapts it so wonderfully, and the storyline they came up with for Arrival, like the sci-fi concepts, a bit silly, a bit unrealistic, but at the same time, it connects to like such an idea of like fourth dimensional entities and connecting to something outside of our limit of understanding, which makes it so ethereal, so intense. Oh God, I love Arrival. I love Arrival and like the story it tells. Cosmic horror / existential horror in all its forms, my beloved. Nihilism is both a negative and a positive way. It's so fascinating as a concept. Exactly. It speaks to mortality. It speaks to the human existence, the human condition as it is. The questions that bother us late in the night from the time that we're a child and first start thinking about them until the time that we die, because unless we do somehow find a way outside of this existence, we're never going to be able to answer them. So yeah, lots of questions. Once had a friend proofread over 6,000 words of work. I kept begging them for anything wrong, but they just came out with utter respect for me, and I still don't know why. TLDR, your only critic is you. Critique can still be very useful though. Like even while reading my own work, I saw a few things where I was like, I've read this through so many times and I still let something slip in. And the worst thing is I didn't even have time to note it down because I wanted to do a clean read through. So now I have to go through it one more time and be like, what was it? What was it where I was like, I could have done that better? Fuck. So yeah, it's still important to be able to like be shown the things that you are doing wrong. One of the most simple things that I still sometimes get wrong to this day, I sometimes slip tenses. Occasionally it's on purpose where I'll be like talking about a thing that happened before, still in the present tense of like the writing. But sometimes I accidentally slip tenses. There are so many times I write like a first draft, even going through on the second time, I don't notice it. And then on a third or fourth time, sometimes I'm like, why is this in past tense? This wasn't like him speaking of the past. This is just for some reason slipped into past tense for like a single sentence or two. And then I have to just rewrite that sentence. It's like, what the fuck? Keeping you up after actively listening to horror stories while trying to sleep. See, nowadays, I just sleep while listening to horror stories, so they still have that nice effect of like, yeah, making the hair stand on the end and like creeping you out a little bit. I've recently found one writer that does a really good job and they get picked up a lot by Dusk-like Radio. Their most recent one was a story in which it starts off like a kidnapped by alien stories, which I love by itself. I love alien abduction stories, but it goes on to reveal that actually it wasn't an alien abduction story. And I'm going to spoil this because I'm not going to say the name of the story or the writer or anything, just so in case you happen to stumble upon it in the future. But it's written completely as if it is an alien abduction story. And then when you get towards the ending, it starts to become clear that it isn't actually that. And it's the fact that this character is actually a different form of existence, kind of like an eldritch entity being kept asleep because if they wake up, the universe ends. And so rather than an alien abduction, it's actually like a government thing trying to abduct them occasionally and then erase their memories to make sure that they don't know that none of this is real. And they've woken up to it a few times, but each time being put back into sleep so that they can keep having the dream and the universe inside them can keep existing. Meanwhile, in the real world, they're outside in a coma, and like every time they go back in, they change things to make it a bit more comfortable, a bit more suitable so that they won't want to get out of the dream and escape from that. And it's so good. It's so good. It makes you think about things where you're like, oh God. If you've had like a moment of like derealization or feeling disconnected from reality, that really like pricks you in the right way where you're like, oh God, I was noticing some of those things. Things where you're like, you're so convinced that there's a person in the room with you, but you can't see them, but you know that you're there. Shit like that. It's like, ooh, they captured that mentality so well. At the end, finality comes to us all. Decay is an extant form of life. You cannot rip one from the other in a clean cut. And it's up to you to face it with resignation or with acceptance. Yeah, to see like the horror in it and be afraid of what comes next, or to see the beauty in it and be like, okay, so we have a limited time here. Let's enjoy our time here. Metamorphosis Lost is going to deal with a lot of that kind of feeling. So I hope you enjoy it. I tense slip anytime I go from talking about something past and then get back to present moment. That can happen to me sometimes, and also when I'm doing descriptions. Sometimes if I do descriptions, like I have the best word in my mind, but it's a word that, you know, ends with like ED or something. And when I've ended a word with ED, even though it's a description, and then try to write in present tense, my brain is just like, well, you just used an ed word. Therefore, we're in past tense right now. Like my brain just slips that simply where it's like a word ended with ED. We're speaking in past tense now. And then I'll just write a sentence or two like that and then naturally slip back into present tense. And I'll just reread it a couple times later and be like, wait a minute. This was past the description. That was how dare. Slip tenses when I start doing something from the character's perspective. See, for me, in the character's perspective tends to be present tense. But then when I start describing and using prose, then I'll sometimes slip out of it and slip into like past tense. Because past tense feels more natural for me to write when it comes to descriptions of things. Things that are seen, sensed, tasted, smelt, felt. Whereas like direct actions, very easily for me in present tense. Some of the other like prosy bits, like, yeah, slip out. And of course, like dialogue as well as like personal thoughts. Those can also like, yeah, because you're sometimes using a past tense to talk about things that had happened or stuff. It makes nihilism fascinating to write. I also adore identity horror. Yeah, for sure. Identity horror can be so good. That's why I love For one thing, they really slipped that really well in, like subtly to like Mettaton's story. But I really loved it in I Saw the TV Glow. I Saw the TV Glow is the greatest example of me for that, where it's like it combines existential dread, depersonalization, derealization with like a trans allegory. It's so fucking good. It's so well directed and written. Right in bursts, and when I reread it, I legit go, where the F did I go with this? True. Grammar is confusing. I found myself write easier using past tense. Yeah, for different people, it's different ways. Present tense can be a bit limiting, and like first person can be a bit limiting. So combined together, they're pretty rough and they can look very amateurish. If I write the wrong way in present first person, it does very much just, it very easily slips into, he did this, he did that, I did this, I said this, I looked down, I felt this way, they did this thing. It very much easily slips into just a series of descriptions like from first person, and it's rough. But yeah, you have to pull yourself out of it. Ant-sized Pupal in the corner throwing popcorn into his hair? Do it. You don't scare me. We're going to get actual ants, though, if you throw food around the room, so be careful. Also, an ant-sized Pupal throwing popcorn would be pretty impressive. That's a big popcorn for a tiny Pupal. I just realized that having an entity like Feli around can be really unsettling. Being around death just lingering around in a physical form. That, although beautiful, is still cold and eerie. Very much so. That is very unsettling, and I won't get into the other thoughts I had because they would spoil things and guide you in a way. But yeah, you're definitely on the right kind of thought pattern for like the direction the story will go. Sensei, there are little pupils in the cracks of your home where you can't see watching you. I can imagine, well, I sealed the cracks in the mirror at least. They've been fixed with gold, but yeah. I played Undertale now. I found the secret, like, hidden character, so I know you guys could be hiding anywhere. Under my bed, in the space between the two PC monitors, in the cracks of the box. You guys could be anywhere. Can I ask a deep question? Is Hannah's tear based on the misconception of the human perspective? How do you mean by misconception of the human perspective? Because I don't know if that's like... I can answer that. In general, tears are based around the idea of like humans' perceptions of the world, not necessarily directly. So like, for example, when it came to, this is one I can talk about, when it came to the tear of Tubarin in the webtoon, the whole idea was she was dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts, and feeling disconnected from her life and feeling like she wanted to just disappear but couldn't do that because there's also a pressure on her to be perfect. And that all transformed into a dragon that she could not kill. A dragon that she was apparently the only one who could take on, and yet would not stay down, just kept coming back no matter what. And she had to keep striking it down, but she was getting tired of it and just kind of wished she could give up. So yeah, in that regard, it is very much like the world. The tears are based around humans' perceptions of their life, but they're twisted with fantasies, and they may not be as directly related as, like, it may not just be directly like, oh, she's fighting a dragon. There must have been somebody attacking her in the real world. Things can represent other things. So yeah. Feli is one of my favorite explorations of immortality. You don't know him too well yet. That's very sweet to say, but you know, give it time. He might be a terrible representation. The immortals who are very detached because they know everything around them will vanish, so they don't care to protect themselves. Got you. That much is very much true. I get what you mean then. Like the detached immortal who realizes like none of this matters anymore kind of thing. Got you. Have you seen Fujimoto's Woke Up as a Girl syndrome? I have not, but I've heard it's incredible. Because I know Fujimoto has a very, very close personal trans friend who helps them with those plot lines, and they have trans characters in their stories or trans allegories that connect very well with people in real life. But I have not read that one yet. I haven't actually embraced any of Fujimoto's stuff other than, is it called Step Back, Jump Back? The one about the two artists. The other one, oh God. One just came out. I think it's the one about like the two cyclists. I haven't seen that yet, but the movie's now available online with English subtitles, so I'll probably rent that as some. No, I'll probably buy that at some point, and watch that when it's like available on YouTube, because I've heard that that one's really good as well. but I haven't actually done it yet. So how bad did Feli fuck up? I don't know what you mean. Hannah's parents just existing in their own void after she... Yeah. We'll get into more of that as time goes on as well. The curtains were blue. Exactly. The curtains were blue. And what does that represent? Sorry if that was worded weird. I'm getting the feels from personal realizations. That is definitely something that I want every one of the Lost Souls to do. Every one of the Lost Souls, the whole point of them is they have some sort of regret in life. So it is going to be regrets in life that connect to either my own life or connect to like people around me that I've felt like on some level in my own life, but then turned up to a 10 because obviously these are people who have lost their lives and refused to cross on. So yeah, if it's like feeling like it connects to you on a personal level, it was definitely designed to be that way. As was Subarin's, idea of like, God, I'm so sick of life. I just want to die. I just want to be let go of. But at the same time, I can't do that to the people around me. That one, obviously, we didn't have the time to flesh it out properly and see her much in real life, real world, and the things that went on in the background. But with every Lost Soul from here on, it is essentially going to be like, yeah, it's all like psychological issues that have kept them in some way from metamorphosizing, moving on, letting go, that kind of thing. Book to help with writing that I do recommend is a novel called Save the Cat Writes a Novel. Save the Cat Writes a Novel. That's a fascinating title. Save the Cat Writes a Novel, the last book on novel writing you'll ever need. By Jessica Brody, adapts the popular Save the Cat screenwriting methodology for novelists, providing a step-by-step guide by plotting and character development using 15 essential beats. Ooh, that does sound interesting. Thank you. In fact, I think I heard about BookFox talk about this one. I watch a couple of different like YouTubers who talk about writing, including Abby Ebbins, BookFox, and there's one more, as well as Hello Future Me, who doesn't talk as much about writing anymore and more breaks down like story decisions. But yeah, I think I've heard that one mentioned, but I'm going to save that for later because that might be quite useful. So thank you for suggesting that. Blah. I feel like Cú might build up some bittersweet grief fighting so hard to save these souls, and then after a victory stepping out and remembering they're still dead. We shall see. I like that thought. I thought the between world in like her world, I thought it's like how she wants to be in her real world, as like how she always starts to be seen in her real life. Sorry if I worded it poorly. It will depend on the tier. We'll see as things go on, but it's very much just a case of like, the tiers are based around their actual lives, so their actual memories, but then also combined with, yeah, possibly how they see themselves, possibly how they see the outside world, possibly what they feel has trapped them in time. So it could be anything. It could be like the way that they specifically see themselves, a world that they want to escape in, a person that they want to become. It could be any of those. It's very much like open each time in different tier forms based around like what was their actual regret. My best friend writes identity horror where our characters become sentient, realize they're book characters, realize their faults, and it ends up being their demise. She's an amazing writer. And also a monster. That makes her God in their world, which means she is the one torturing them through these storylines. But no, that does sound very interesting. A character that figures out their character is always fascinating as fuck. So far, Feli has given me a similar vibe to a certain Project Moon character. Oh, I don't know the Project Moon ones too much. But I think for all the analyzing, it's still too early to tell. Yeah. I'm interested to see how people's like views on the different characters change as we go forward, because you guys are doing good at analyzing some things. Feli not wanting to get attached to anything makes sense. He's seen and lost everything. Yeah. I mean, again, if you read the prequel to the story, yeah, very much so. The interloper. I already cried. I don't want to cry again. I mean, it's going to cry, to be fair. It's going to cry. Similar to the moon, they can pass on, but it's not real. But it matters anyway. Exactly. Yeah. To the moon and Brakuen as well. Both of them have a very similar feeling of being like... It reflects on the idea of life as well. The fight between nihilism and existentialism. Oh, fuck, what's the other one? And absurdism, where it's the general idea of like, all of this is going to end eventually. The ending, we always know exactly what's coming, so does any of it matter? the answer is it does matter, because we're here and we make the choices for what matters. We decide what we want to do with our time here. To the Moon and Rakuen both capture that kind of feeling as well, where it's like, yeah, this should matter. This is important, even though it's not necessarily quote unquote real to us. Any writer needs as a menace to do their needs to be a menace, do their characters as a treat. Yeah, pretty much. I love her so much, but at one point my brain said, she's so much better than you, you'll never be good enough. So I stopped writing for a bit. Never ever compare yourself to other people. That is one way to make what was a passion become absolute hell for you. Because everybody's dealing with their own different things, and possibly they even think that your writing is special in a very different way. Everybody is unique. So not just writing, but artwork, music making, whatever it is that you excel at and want to be better at and find somebody else is better than you, there's always going to be somebody better than you. And if you compare and stop on your own journey, you never get to where you want to be in the future. Comparison is the thief of joy. Thank you, Tally the Comfy. Exactly. And thank you for sending me that message a while ago. I remember that on one of the membership posts I wrote, that you said that and then went in to explain it better. And like, yeah, very much so. Comparison will drag like everything to hell. It sucks. Which is also why I think you would enjoy This Monster Wants to Eat Me. Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait to see the Yuri one. Psychologically interesting, if you ask me, apart from the Yuri and the Vor. It's fun when things like act on surface level like they're just got to be silly, tropey things. Like a lot of the ABO stuff, and a lot of the like furry stuff can act like, oh, so this is just horny animals doing horny animal things. And then you look into things like Beastars and even on a much simpler level, Zootopia, and see how like they've used the idea of like predators versus prey and the different like animalistic characteristics to take the idea of like people judging humanity in certain ways. And then they even use it in like a psychological way when it comes to Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi was so good at like, oh, this animal is this animal because of this thing. And it's like, oof. Yeah. Good stories. Good stories. Wait, Sensei, if there's people that can sense death / supernatural stuff, having fairly close could be kind of hard, right? I'm just going to move on from that one. I love Scott Bell's writing method and superstructure. His signpost scenes help me outline so much clearer. Heart breathings, Sarah Cannon's teachings. No, I know nothing about any of those, so sounds interesting. Knowing the sun will explode in 3 billion years, destroying everything we worked for if humanity even makes it to that time, doesn't change the fact that I still have to do my taxes next month. Exactly. And you have to find your own reason to get up each day. Yeah. Is that a Sans Cú profile picture? Yes, there is a Sans Cú profile picture. Where is it? I haven't seen them talk in a while. There it is. Yes. After Undertale yesterday, there is a Sans Cú that Nicole made, which is intense. Save the Cats is a good book for writing screen script. Yeah, apparently it was originally like a method for writing screenwriting style, and then there's the novel adaptation where somebody took the idea and made it so that it can be adapted to novelizations as well, which is possibly going to be useful for me. Definitely. I like there's a couple of different like methods, like, oh god, what is it, the 5-step, the 3-structure or 5-structure story arc where they have like all the different moments that a character is supposed to go through. I like those. They help you get a general idea of like where a character should start at, where they should go, what are their misconceptions, how does it like lead to it. In general, I think like a bit more free form, because if you're writing, that's for writing like professional stories where you want to get it published, you want to tell a streamlined story and you want it to be digestible. Whereas, yeah, if you want to write something a bit more realistic, it might like meander a lot more than that and hit a lot more different plot points that, you know, because humanity, we don't always like move forward continuously on a path. There are a lot of times where we fall backwards and drift sideways and do all kinds of things. And again, it doesn't lean super intently towards like a more digestible story, which is a problem. But if you want to write something a bit more realistic, you probably have to add some of that as well. Not to mention the hero's journey format. Yeah, the 3-act story structure is actually tied into the hero's journey very closely, especially when it comes to like in the third act, you get the whole like darkest moment where the character has like that big dark moment that draws them back, where they've been resisting so long, finally admitting something. And then they have to like admit to that to move forward. And yeah, the hero's journey is very much part of it. Perhaps Feli is the kind who once cared about lost souls, but after experiencing the emptiness and pain that came with freeing them time and time again, he chose to dissociate his emotions. Possibly. We shall see in time. You can make it be about what you're into and a deep analysis and story. There's no shame in doing what, right? Yeah, exactly. You can do anything. You can take anything that feels like a simple trope and make it into a much deeper thing, as long as you're good at storytelling, as long as you're good at using the tropes. Tropes are just a thing to help you. They're a thing to like have fun with. It's more like the bad writers and the bad like designers who are just like leaning into a trope because it's like, this will be popular and this will get people's attention, that kind of like drags certain tropes down into being silly and over the top and like caricatures of their former selves. Did that with drawing and I still can't get my old passion like it was. I still want to draw, but with the feeling of, you know what? You can't draw much. That's the thing. If you never actually draw, then you'll never actually get better at drawing. Besides, I'm sure people will be very happy to see your artwork behind Zero. So I hope you still can move forward. Speculations about Feli are so interesting to me because I definitely missed out on the reading. What's the VOD later? Okay. I mean, it hasn't changed too much from the webtoon, but yeah, I think people have like... A lot of people from the webtoon thought that Feli would be like just completely antagonistic, like angsty, attacking at every chance. But it's you'll find out in time. But yeah, the first 3 chapters make it clear what their relationship more is. Still need to come to terms with that once you told me if we compare your emotional intelligence to my academic intelligence, you excel far more. Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad you have a good friend too. If I recall correctly, Sensei said that Cú and Feli looking alike isn't just coincidental, right? I guess we'll see. And his butterfly is still there, right? Cú still wants to help her in his way. How would Feli have handled this situation without Cú? How could he have helped her let go? The whip wasn't a solution. Unfortunately, Equimactire, the whip is a solution. Feli points this out in both the webtoon and the novel already. If you end a lost soul enough to... For one thing, a lost soul will pass on by itself if nothing is done. It could just take decades. It's like a ghost slowly fading away. The idea that like that resentful energy has a limit and will eventually like wear out, entropy style. What Feli's way of doing things is to show up and kill the lost soul as many times as it takes for them to just give up on life and let go. Even though time is resetting, he's taking away a bit of their energy each time. That is what he would prefer to do. So yeah, that's not a spoiler whatsoever. That's something he stated very simply first time he met Cú, and within these first 3 chapters as well, that if you just kill a lost soul a couple 100 times, it'll let go. And that's faster than letting it slowly pass away by itself, which is what his duty is, to just make them let go faster. So yeah, Cú wants to do things a different way, but Feli's way might work faster depending on how quickly he can kill a lost soul. If he can kill it within like 5 seconds each time time resets, it won't take too long. He just has to throw some fire at it or whip it in the right place. 3-act structure, but it can also be 5-act. Oh, it can be 5-act. Okay. But yeah, the 3 acts get split down into a bunch of like shorter things as well. Bum-ba-da-bum. When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's up to you what you do with the hammer. True. Exactly. So traumatizing the souls just a tiny bit, even if they don't remember. Just erasing the souls, essentially. May I ask if you ever experience write-ups block while writing? All the time. Sometimes for like months on end. Especially when I'm busy with other things in life. Like, if I'm not completely in a writing mood, I will go through like an entire chapter for like an hour or 2 and barely be able to make any changes. Just be like, I hate these couple of sentences. I need to change them, and not knowing what to do with them. So there are times you just get like that. There are times you just have to give up and come back to it later. And then there are times when you just need to write like utter shit and know it's shit and come back to it in a little bit. Like there are times where you just have to write a full chapter and be like, oh God, this is god awful. But I now know like where the story beats are more fleshed out. And like, you can literally just take a pause at one point and be like, I'm writing this thing And then in brackets, this will be where you describe this setting and connect it to this character's feelings of this. And then just skip to the next paragraph and be like, oh, I'll do that when I'm actually in a good writing mood. For now, we're just getting down like basic actions and shit and what we can. So yeah, writer's block is something that everybody deals with on some level. And it's not just writer's block, but creative block in general. There are so many things that can just pull you out of being in the right mind and make you just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore. As long as you don't get stuck spiraling. If you get stuck spiraling and thinking, I need to get better, I need to finish this before I move on to something else. Like some days you just won't be able to write a chapter that's very emotionally driven, and instead you'll want to write something that's more action driven. Some days you can't write something prose heavy, so you're just like, okay, I'll like tune up this dialogue. I'll make sure that these characters are speaking in a way that gives them each the proper character voice, and I'll come back to other bits in different bits. And that's why like going back through writing and reading it and being like, oh, I didn't like this is so important, because you can go back through it a few times and be like, oh, now I'm in a better mood for like prose. This could be described better. Or, oh, now that I've figured out more about like the way this character speaks, this dialogue could sound a bit more them coded rather than using my own head voice. That kind of shit. So yeah, writer's block happens, creative block happens. You just have to not spiral, know that it's going to happen sometimes, step back and come back to it when you can, or try to force through if it takes too long. Thank you for the read-through. Thank you, Kobade. Feli sounds like a lawful neutral now that we've learned a bit more about his unyielding sense of duty. And him serving an outer god kind of reminds me of the cosmic egg. Looking forward to find out more. Thank you so much, Kobade. Yeah, the cosmic egg I've talked about multiple times on stream about how much I like it. And that's why it's going to be fun, like going through this story. There are so many things that I talk about, like, oh, I really love this thing. I really love like this idea and this analogy. Where it's going to be like, oh, yeah, I kind of see that coming through in Metamorphosis Lost. Because if you don't know what the cosmic egg thing, it's the idea that the entire universe is just one egg. It's just like one little baby that hasn't formed yet, that is just barely beginning to form an embryo. Everything that exists in reality, every single conscious being is a life that is being lived and that will eventually reform into one giant consciousness that hasn't been birthed yet. So it's the idea of like everything that you experience is one lifetime. Everything that everybody else in this same world experienced is all actually the same life form, just experiencing different things so that it can be born as something outside of our realm of understanding. And so everything in your life is important, but you are also only one part of a massive whole, which also connects to the whole idea of like as above, so below, internal and external things, as well as like Jungian psychology with like the global consciousness, as well as the individualized consciousness. It's a lot of like the different types of philosophy that I really enjoy that yeah. If you're feeling that come across a little bit already, sick. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for donating the flowers, and I hope you're having a lovely day, Kobode. Thank you so much for everything you do. And yeah, I'm glad you're getting to know the characters more now, because thank you so much for doing your best with the little you know so far. What dictates the appearance of a dust butterfly? That I can't talk about yet. That is spoilery. That I will just say it won't be talked about for a very long time. So what I always say is for a very long time, there are only going to be one type of dusk butterfly. But yeah, for in the case of Pupal Sono wanting to design their own dust butterflies, absolutely feel free to design it however you want, the same way you did your Pupal Sono, whether it's a combination of like specific gems and colors that you like, design and patterns that you like, whether you like a long floofy tail, or more like fuzzy butterfly, or more like bat-like one, those kinds of things. All good to do in your own way. Letting go is hard. What can you say except Feli going, stop thinking about it so much? Exactly. Sometimes the best way to end something is to just physically end it. What can you do at that point? Ironically, if you squint, Feli is also an empty vessel for his role. It's just unclear whether there's anything actually concrete at the bottom of the pot, or just water which reflects Cú's humanity. Oh, you wrote that so well, Hound. I love that. May I ask, have you ever felt like you got that kind of creativity block that you felt and you can't come back? If so, how did your passion come again? Yeah, no, there was one point when I was writing my last story, I went through a big section of like personal turmoil, where things that I was planning to write changed, and it made it so that I couldn't write them. And for a long time, I was just frozen. I was very much in the case of like, I'm not in the headspace to write this thing right now. And so I just stepped away from writing for like a year and a half. And that was the first story that I ever like fully completed. So that was my first time writing a full story that wasn't just like a short story that I never even finished, because I had never finished a story before that one before. And so at that point, that very much felt like it was going to be a similar thing where it was just going to be like, oh God, I guess, yeah, no, I'm just not a writer. I might come back to this someday, but honestly, I don't think I ever am going to, because I abandoned so many of my other projects without finishing them. So that's where I was at that point. For like a year and a half, I was just frozen like, yeah, I'm not a writer. It's fine. I gave it my best try. This is whatever. The only thing that really did bring me back was when I got to a point in my life, I realized that writing is my favorite way of getting like feelings out of myself, of like working my way through things. It's a very therapeutic process for me. So while journaling is also good and writing about my actual self is fun, I also like to take things to the extreme and create fiction out of them, and like imagine like, how would a character deal with this going on in their life? How would they be able to move past this thing, and then writing it in a fictional story rather than thinking about it in my own life. It helps me to move forward. So it came to a point where I finally was like, oh God, I actually just really want to finish this story. I feel like I can't move forward until I finish this story. And so it did just click back into place of like, okay, and this is how I want to end this story. Let's get to that ending. Let's fix this. So yeah, it can take ages, and it can be the point that by the time you get back into the mood for writing, you're just like, well, I don't like that old story anymore. And so you just start a new one. But yeah, best case scenario, try to finish the old ones, just because at some point they mattered to you. If it doesn't matter to you anymore, it's fine. You don't need to finish it. Meanwhile, if it's something that is still kind of like part of your mind and you don't feel like you can let go, it's nice to be able to realize like, oh, and now I'm in the right headspace. Now I can write this and it will help me to like move forward more in my future. Yeah. But yeah, obviously for everybody it's individual, but I think what actually helped me the most was just giving up, essentially. Was being like, I'm not a writer, I'm not gonna finish this, fuck this shit, and just quitting, essentially, for several months, a year and a half, and then a year and a half later I was like, fuck, I really want to go back to that. Okay, let's finish that off. And then it just like, it connected again, my passion came back, and I had a lot of fun finishing that one off. So yeah, that may happen with this one at some point as well. But that's why I'm saying like at different points I can do little side stories as well. I'm always going to try to like, while I'm writing, try to get to the end of one ekthra, one arc. And then if I need to take like long breaks for like a couple of months between time, just be like, and now here's like a random lost soul that has less to do with me and is more like just a cool idea for a tier that I figured out. Like I want to write a sci-fi story, so let's do this. I want to write a horror story, so let's do this. And I'll just write something else that is silly and not fully connected to the full story, but is a fun little side project where I can keep my creative fluids flowing. Creative fluids flowing sounds yicky. But you know what I mean. Just keep up your passion and keep like tempering your writing or artwork or music or singing, whatever it is that is your passion. So this means we can make tiers for our characters or Sona if we desire 100%. And yes, 100%. 100%. How can I say this? There is another project which will not come out for possibly still several months that will be a different tier based off of, like it's not a connected main part of the story, but it is a tier that is like a spin-off story which is based off of like, it was partially designed by me, the plotline was brought together by me, but all of the visuals and the idea were created by somebody else. That is what I will say. So that will be a different project that comes out in possibly a few months. I don't exactly know when, because it depends on when everything comes together. My part in it is done, essentially, because I didn't have to do much for that one. I got to just sit back and be like, these are cool ideas, let's go. But yeah, other people like creating their own tiers, creating their own stories. That's kind of what like Féileacán and Cú tiers and like the idea is about, so that people can take their own passions and make them part of the story. Creating a Pupal Sona is creating your own character who can walk alongside Féileacán and Cú, but then can also have their own stories and spin-offs and whatever else you want to create out of them. So writing is really, oh, please don't guess who people are. It's not going to be anyone that you think it is, for one thing. It's not somebody I've worked with before so far, but it is something that I'm very excited to share with everyone. But yeah, please don't guess names, because you're not going to be right, and that's just like probably bad for the people. So writing is really, really your passion. I'm glad that you realized that, Sensei. I think sometimes it's the hardest thing to do, to know your true passion. I think it's been a passion that I really enjoy, and it could be that like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, I look back on this and think, wow, I was such a pretentious ass. I could look back on this in the future and be like, writer? Nah, you're just a silly little teacher. People who can't do, teach. Which is not true whatsoever. Let me just double down on that real quick, that teaching is a fucking excruciatingly painful job that you need to have an incredible amount of passion to keep up with, especially considering how much society treats them like shit, and how important and vital it is for children and the development of young minds that eventually become parts of our society, especially when the parents are not so good at actually guiding the children and turning them into decent pieces of society. But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, 10 to 15 years from now, I may look back on this and just be like, that wasn't my passion. Really, my passion is philosophy. Really, my passion is psychology. Really, my passion is eating hot chip and being hot. Eating hot chip and lie. That's my true passion. But yeah, for now, it is very much like it's something that whenever I do it, it fills me with the greatest amount of like, oh, I did that. I accomplished that. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, when it comes to writing, even if it's like something where it's like not technically skilled, if I get out like some of my emotions in a way that feels personal to me and that hopefully other people can connect with as well, and like connect with some of the characters or connect with the storyline and be like, oh, I see where this is coming from. This makes me think of my own thoughts on this, or, oh, I had those kind of feelings in my own life at one point as well. That's a beautiful feeling. So yeah. Writing fills you with determination, perhaps? Exactly. Sensei, a man of many passions, a man of many hats. It's just a lot of them happen to be looking like this. This is what most of my hats look like. But yeah, a man of many hats, as we all are. We all go through different stages in our life. Right now, I'm very much like, I want to write Metamorphosis Lost. I want to play a bunch of video games and do a bunch of silly stuff with you guys. But yeah, writing is definitely the passion. There's a story I want to tell and get out there. Randomly got a writing idea, but I got to work on my myth. This is hard. That is one of the hardest things about being a writer. Like, while I'm going through book 1, I'm constantly plotting out a bit more of book 2 to make it a bit more fleshed out in my mind. At the same time, I'm still having ideas about book 3. And there are times when I'm like, oh man, this would make for a really cool tier. I could just do like a nice 100 to 200 page side story about that. It'd be so cool. I'm feeling very Christmassy themed right now, so winter and coldness would be a cool idea. And it's just like, yeah, you gotta focus on other things for a little bit. Eat hot chip and lie? Someone get that on a shirt. I'm sure it's already on a shirt. What are we doing next week? You'll find out tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Next week, I don't even know yet. I know our Oshiete or Ku Sensei is going to be about pets. Because I'm going to be sharing pictures of my catses and talking about the other pets I've had in my life. And my goals for my puppy in 2026 in June. There are other things that we're supposed to do. For one thing, visual novel. We're probably going to finish the Fata Morgana. No. I'm still debating. It's either going to be Fata Morgana extras for A Requiem for Innocence. So the 2 additional stories that connect to A Requiem for Innocence. Or we're going to finish Willow Mist Emporium stuffs. We're not going to go into any of the long games yet, is what I'm saying. And I'm not sure what we're going to do on Saturday, because Saturday is normally supposed to be like a one-off kind of stream that's a bit more chill and grounded. I don't think we're going to do the confessions just yet. I think we're going to leave that for another 2 weeks. So I don't know. Not fully sure yet. We'll find out. Like your story, honestly. It was so funny. Sasuga sensei. That took me a minute. You literally heard me going through my mind. It's like, is it chi? Is it sa? Is it ki? My hiragana is so bad. Sasuga sensei desu. Arigatou gozaimasu, Run Sakai. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm doing my best. All the different sides of a persona at the end of the day are still us and all that. Exactly. Sometimes you're different with different people. When is the confession stream? Oh, yeah, Dilly. That'll be like in another 2.5 weeks, I'd imagine. It'll be a Saturday stream, so it won't be this Saturday, and it won't be next Saturday, because next Saturday will be more Metamorphosis Lost. So maybe the Saturday before the end of January. The second to last Saturday in January, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure, because I need to like make up a marshmallow and let people send those in and make sure we have enough. But yeah. Honestly, your passion is so inspiring though. I like seeing you work hard in what you love and proudly sharing it to the world. It inspires us in so many ways. Thank you. And I think that is how passion works. Like if you have a lot of passion when you're working on a project, even if it's not technically the best, I feel like people will be able to connect with it and like feel parts of their own passion and be inspired by it. And then maybe create fan creations of their own and then go off and be like, okay, and now this is my own creation, which is definitely the greatest goal of like both a creative person and a teacher, is to be like, okay, here's my thing. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it inspires you. This is my way of teaching you and showing you what's inside my heart and mind. And then in the future, you guys will create everything on your own and do things that far surpass anything that I've done and end up inspiring so many other people in the world. Also, I'm sorry, for some reason it didn't let me... Oh, it did let me grab the donation. It just didn't appear on chat for some reason. Sharon, thank you so much for donating the allowance. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for supporting the read through, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I said all those things 3 times in a row. My brain is turned off. I did not get much sleep last night. I was a bit worried about this. No fucking lie. Last night from like 8 p.m. onwards, my mind was saying, you really should take out like all that side stuff. Even though it's like the entirety of chapter 3 and a good chunk of chapter 2, as well as like chapter 5, and it's got to be a main source of the novel. Part of my brain was just like, yeah, you should just tell a streamlined story. You could probably get it done in like 400 pages if you were focused and not like spinning off into other things. Even though I've been through this like so many times in my whole mind where it's like, no, this is important to the story. This is important to the journey. There's reasons for everything. My brain keeps telling me, nah, just destroy it. Just tear it all down. Maybe confession would be good for Valentine's Day. Possibly. We are around Valentine's Day. We're also going to do like another role-playing stream, as well as... Oh, the silly little quizzes about like S&M and stuff. But yeah. Sorry for the added topic, Sensei. After episode 10 of Oshiete Oku Sensei stopped having episodic numbers. Was there a specific reason for that? Yeah, no, it's just because I don't want them anymore. It's straight up because when people see like something episode 11, they feel like, oh, so I can't watch this without watching the first 10 episodes. And since Oshiete Oku Sensei is like a weekly show, it's like, even though the episode numbers were originally there for me to basically remind myself how many I'd done so far. But then, yeah, in a general like viewer perspective, if you like, you're first tuning into somebody or you haven't caught up in a while and you don't know what Oshiete Oku Sensei is, the first stream that you happen to see that they're live on happens to be like Oshiete Oku Sensei episode 17. You're like, oh God, I have so much to catch up on, and it just kind of turns you off a little bit. It's the same reason that a lot of streamers... annoyingly, when it comes to like doing long gaming projects, don't put like the number either on the thumbnail or on the stream. It's so that people's minds just naturally, if you look at a thing, if it says like part 7 or it just has like a number 7 in the top right corner, you can be like, oh, I'd have to watch all the bits before this. Nah, I'm good. It just like, even if it's not like, oh, I don't want to do that, it can just be a thing of like, oh, that's work at this point. I don't want to catch up. So yeah, it's very much a thing of like, the weekly talk show is just a weekly talk show. So I just stopped doing the episodes from now on. I love it when I love it when there's more word building and character personality plot stuff. I don't think fillers are really fillers if it explores relationship dynamics and character interactions. Very much so, Nicole Nax. Like, that's where I'm coming from on this one. It is very much one of those things where it's like, it's all important to the story. It's all important to the journey. While I could like keep it very like locked on to just what Féileacán and Cú do, and that would probably make a more exciting and streamlined story, it wouldn't tell the story that I actually want to tell with Metamorphosis Lost. So yeah, I'm just going to tell it my way, and we're going to see if people like it and connect with it, and yeah, we'll see. The good thing is, like, it doesn't have to be published. It's just a passion project, so I'm just going to tell the story I want, because it goes completely against writing advice, where writing advice is very much like you tell a story structure, you make it snappy, you make the first chapter tell the basic storyline premise, you start on the most catchy thing you possibly can, and then like work backwards from that. This is very much like, I still started with like the most catchy chapter 1 I could, because otherwise it probably would have been them entering the tier and more explanation, but yeah. From then on out, it is very much like, okay, now let the characters tell the story, let the world expand. Truthfully, you could be yapping about temperatures of tea and I would still listen, because your writing and reading is so captivating. That's very sweet. A lot of writers get heavily shit on for that kind of thing, though, for being like so distracted. I think that's the thing. If I actually did write about like, oh, the temperature of the tea, the sweetness, where the leaves came from. Like, if you want to, you can just write a whole fucking chapter about a cup of tea. I could sit there like, oh yes, I grabbed a cup of tea in the morning at my classroom. And then talk about like the sweetness, the taste, the way it burned at the beginning, so I had to wait for a while. While I was waiting, I was imagining where the tea leaves came from. So I pulled out my phone and Googled it. This part of the country. Oh, I don't know what people are like there. I wonder what their lives are. Just jump over to like a different perspective where we're watching the tea farmers struggle to get by in their life. That kind of shit. That kind of shit where you can really go in any direction, because the mind can meander in any kind of direction, but will it actually come back to be important to the plot kind of thing? Meanwhile, if like I burn my tongue on tea because I want to drink it too early, that could actually be plot relevant, because it's like, oh, so Cú is an impatient person. Cú doesn't wait for things to come to him. Cú does like potentially dangerous things to hurt himself because he seeks pleasure before worrying about anything else. That's the most important thing, I think, when it comes to like writing a story, is making sure that everything that you've written isn't just there because you're padding out the runtime, isn't just there because you got distracted, but will eventually come back to this like leads into the character's journey where they end up, and can, you know, adds to the plot on some level. Personalizes the character or continues the journey in the direction that the storyline is actually supposed to be going. Kuchan's Oshiete Kú Sensei episode 2 years later. Oshiete Kú Sensei episode 169. I mean, there's only 52 weeks in a year, so a year 3 we could get to 169, but yeah. I think that's the thing. I'll probably just name the numbers specifically when it's a funny number. Like, once we get up to Oshiete Kú Sensei episode 69, it will be like, episode 69, guys. Let's go through spicy fan art. I'm gonna bring out the Féileacán, the Fellatio hashtag, and we're gonna go through the R18 fan art with censorship. Let's see what people have been creating, you sick fucks. That kind of shit. Episode 67. No, 67. No, 67. That's actually my way of writing sometimes, but I fear people will be bored. If you're a good enough writer, you can make anything interesting. Look at fucking... it's very streamlined, but at the same time, I finally managed to find it, guys. Remember I told you guys I was looking for my copy of Fight Club for like 4 hours one night, and I couldn't find it in my boxes of books back there? I eventually found it. So I was reading Fight Club, and yeah, there are... even though it only lasts like 3 or 4 pages, there are some pages, and it fully connects to the psychology of the character, where my man will just be like talking about like IKEA furniture and where the IKEA furniture came from and why it's important to him, where each piece came from and what its name was, and how it was probably named for some Swedish word that he doesn't understand, and the meanings of the word is strange, and why do they even talk like that? Why are there so many consonants? He goes on so many tangents because that leads into the psychology of a character dealing with all the shit that the main character in Fight Club is dealing with. Because he is dealing with a fuck ton. Oh god, is he on the spectrum? I don't think so, but he has a lot of mental issues, and the main one he's aware that he's dealing with. The main one that he's aware that he's dealing with is that he does not sleep. He has not slept in like 4 days at this point. So the writing is very much sentence by sentence, simple sentence structure of just like, I did this, I did that, I thought about this. Why does that thing happen? Why is this thing like this? I know this thing because of this thing. This connects to that thing. It's very much like flow of consciousness, putting you into the mind of somebody who hasn't slept for days and is having mental issues. It's written very well, but very snappy. But there are times that just pages will ramble and you're like, wow, this guy's crazy. Because you do. And that's exactly what the writer wanted you to feel when you read that. It was very much, oh god, this dude needs some fucking help. Ugh. Make sure it connects back to the story and themes. Yeah. But that's the thing. I could go like 3 to 4 pages reading about IKEA furniture and then realize I've been reading about IKEA furniture for 3 to 4 pages, but it all connected to like the head voice, the character personalization, and it was important for figuring out what this character is up to. Glad that you found it. I hope it doesn't take you a few hours again. I just fucking stumbled across it. That's fun. That's what's fun. I stumbled across that shit. I spent 4 hours searching for it, didn't find it at all. Meanwhile, I just happened to like notice it out of the corner of my eye. But like, wait, that red cover, isn't that? And then I just went down and grabbed it and it was like, oh fuck, there's Fight Club. Writing wise, it can show that MC is a pretentious fuck. You can do that as well, yeah. And sometimes you want to do that. Sometimes you want to like write in the, well, look at fucking Interview with the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire is one of the most beautifully written books of all time. And the reason it's like so beautiful is because Louis is a fucking pretentious, whiny bitch. He's constantly trying to tell you how human he is, how cultured he is, how he was given a good upbringing, how he was religious, how he cares so much about God and Christianity and morality, and he can quote these philosophers and this scripture, and oh, it's so important that we don't be like those base-born vampires. And so he is going out of his way to like wax poetic about every single bit of nature that he can, and then shit on every bit of like vampire stuff there is to discuss like how disgusting the humans are and the more vicious creatures. And meanwhile, yeah, they wrote just as beautiful as Lestat, but Lestat was more direct and like more sexually charged and talked about the beauty of some of the dark and fucked up things as well. So you can always write beautifully no matter what, but yeah, sometimes you want to write to just be whiny, annoying, pretentious, aggressive. You want to paint your character in like, oh no, this is kind of a piece of shit character right here. Another one of the best written books of all time. God damn it, I'm having to bring this one up again. Fucking Lolita. Which is written so poetically and beautifully, even though it's a sick fuck piece of shit, most of the time talking about like the body of an underage girl. Which is written so beautifully that sometimes you forget what the fuck he's talking about, and then they make sure to bring you back to how disgusting the things he's describing is, which is great. Like Jeden's captor in RFI. Oh yeah, some of the shit that they say. The writing in Fata Morgana in general does a really good job of putting you into like Jacopo's brain, especially when it came to Requiem for Innocence, because some of the times he would be distracted by other things, just like running off and like talking about what he thinks a character is feeling, which isn't necessarily what the character is feeling, and word use where it's like, oh, these people are disgusting and they're trying to use me and take me, and meanwhile it's just because that's what he's thinking. Was that Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov? Yeah. Gotta love unreliable narrators. Looking at you, Akutagawa Ryonosuke, the hell screen. Oh god, I haven't thought about the hell screen in forever. Lord Horikawa, my beloved. That's classic Japanese literature. That's one of the Aoi Bungaku ones. Nice. But yeah, an unreliable narrator is one of the most interesting things you'll ever get, where a character is speaking in first person and telling you a story, but they're pulling the wool over your eyes. And so eventually at some point, like, things will start to feel wrong and you're like, that's a plot. That's a plot failing. You're fucking up. Like, that never happened. And then you realize like, oh wait, no, that did happen. It's just that the character pretended it didn't and didn't describe a thing happening or lied about a thing directly to the reader. And once you get that revelation, it's like, oh, you really get into the psychology of the character. Hellscreen. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hound, because I may fuck this one up. Hellscreen is the one about the artist who's supposed to draw a depiction of hell, correct? He was hired by the Emperor. Let me know if I'm wrong, and you'll probably know better than me. I just vaguely remember that one. But do let me know if that's the one where the painter is trying to draw a hellscape for an emperor. Unreliable narrators are definitely Akutagawa Ryunosuke's bread and butter. Love his works. I think that's the only one I've heard of. I have Yoshihide, but I hate Yorikawa more. And yeah, that's the one sensei. Okay. So yeah, I haven't actually read that story. The only story of like the only Japanese classic literature I've read is No Longer Human. And that one's only like less than 100 years old. But yeah, that one, basically a painter is forced to draw a hellscape for an emperor and to make it like the most terrifying thing possible. But he's also, God, you know what, Hound, talk about this, but I think this is the way I remember it, that basically he's trying to paint it in a way that will be horrifying, while at the same time thinking that the horror of being forced to paint this by the Emperor and knowing that if he does a bad job means he's got to be beheaded. And so he's doing his best to balance the idea that his version of hell is being in this place right now, and yet put that through in his art without the Emperor figuring out that he sees him basically as the fucking devil. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what that one was about. I really like Spider Thread. Spider Thread's another one where I haven't read, but I've like, these are things that I've seen in Aoi Bungaku, which is an anime adaptation of a lot of the classics. No Longer Human was also in that one, but again, that one I actually read. Most of them I just watched Aoi Bungaku like 10 years ago. And so I vaguely remember some of the stories. Like, I forget the one about the dude who's cutting down trees as well, and he, like, finds a girl who's being attacked and tries to save her, but then it turns out he has bad intentions for her as well. Calling Hound in whenever we have literature questions. I mean, in that one, it's specifically because they brought it up, and I was like, I think I know that one. If I did, I really liked the storyline for that one, but I haven't actually read it. Do be like that? It's when you stop looking for it that the Eldritch entities from beyond give it back. Yeah. Was it in your sock drawer or something? It was in one of the fucking boxes. But it wasn't in one of the boxes marked books. It was with one of my sets of clothing. There's like 5 other books in like a box that has clothing in it. So I was just trying to find, I forget what I was trying to find. I think like my more formal jacket. And then, yeah, I happened to like stumble across it and it was like, son of a... So I took out the other books and grabbed them and put them into one of the book boxes as well. But thankfully it wasn't the kitchen one, but it wasn't much better. No Longer Human is fantastic. If you've read the other series by Daizai too, I'm interested to know what you think of them. I haven't read any of the other ones by Daizai. I've only read No Longer Human, unfortunately. Yoshihide is awful, but the Horikawa glazing makes me furious. And he's worse in front of him to motivate him after trying to do awful stuff to the daughter. Oh, God. Moran in the first part of Urha is amazing. You can tell through his thought patterns and actions he's totally full of it. But you get to experience his redemption and finding out the truth of him. Yeah. And you get to understand, like, a lot of his mentality while he's doing these things. Because while he's constantly describing other characters, the characters are painted by his past experiences with them, which aren't necessarily the people that they are at the current point or that the people that they could become if things change. So like when he first describes the male prostitute that he wakes up next to, it's like such a horrific way of saying like, this guy is beautiful and I do want to fuck him again, but at the same time, he's a horrible piece of shit. And so I want to scar him. I want to make his life horrible. When he describes Chu Wan-ning, it's so beautiful because you get this whole thing of like, oh, he's the most horrible person I've ever met. And yet he can't help but wax poetic about like how beautiful he is and how pure and innocent and sweet he is. And oh, I can't believe that he was actually like this all along. And yeah, it's really nice when you have like a reliable and unreliable narrator like that, where you can eventually realize what they were dealing with in the moment and look back at their descriptions and be like, oh, so that's why you're describing it that way. It's not necessarily that's the exact logical description of what they look like or what they're acting like, but it's how you took it in the moment, how you remember it. At the end of the day, most tales being wrote in first person are just the perception of the narrator, and as such, you should question what they tell you. So does that include you, Sensei? Nah, I would never lie. I'm a teacher. Teachers don't lie. Teachers just teach lessons. Yeah, you basically got it right, Sensei. You just missed the burning the daughter alive. Oh, shit, I did! In front of the artist part. Right, he was trying to make him experience... Okay, he was trying to make him experience hell because he wanted a better depiction of hell. Fucking thank you. Oh my god, that was a much more twisted tale than I remembered. Sorry, I'm a literature nerd. At any given moment, that knowledge comes to the forefront. No, you're fine. You're fine. And that made me kind of want to rewatch that episode of Aoi Bungaku. Not necessarily read the story, but yeah, I kind of want to rewatch that episode. I completely forgot about the torture. Oh my god. Never be sorry about that, Hound. I love your silly rants. Yeah, no, it brings like more interesting things into our life, especially when it's something that is like, oh my god, I forgot about that, or I'd never heard about that, and then I want to do a deep dive and explore it myself. That's the whole point about listening to people talk about their passions. It ignites your own passions. Anyway, everyone go read Akutagawa Ryonosuke's works. They slap. Hell yeah. You don't lie, you just gaslight, all right? Exactly. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Or in my case, manifest, mansplain. I still don't know a third M. I don't know one that begins with man that's just like mean and bad. Love that kind of story and description. How the writer knows exactly what they want to portray their characters and written it so beautifully together. Can literally imagine how beautiful both of them are. Yeah, exactly. Manslaughter, thank you. Manspread, I mean, that's just natural. Manslaughter's good. Okay. Manipulate. Now I forgot my second one. Manipulate, mansplain, manslaughter. There we go. Menopause. Menopause is good too. I just woke up. The cardigan looks so pretty. Thank you. Yeah, Ria did such a good job on it. I mean, Rock did such a good job drawing it of it, but we've seen the drawing already. But yeah, now it moves. It bounces. It's rigged. It's so pretty. And I can point. Bah. I can point without having to take my cardigan off. I'm so happy. So yeah, I can finally wear my clothing like a damn adult. Ria did such a good job on the rigging. I'm so happy. So just man and whatever crimes that come next. Yeah, I mean, manatee. Manipulate, mansplain, manatee. Third option is just like I literally just start floating in the water and spinning in a circle. And then some people call me a mermaid. Like, people look at me and they're like, is that a manatee? But when they've been out to sea for like a good few months away from any sexual content, they're like, is that a mermaid? Damn, I want to smash that fish. Crimes? Crimes. Always crimes. Can the cardigan be worn with long hair? Of course it can. So can my other asset, the Natsumeko made. But yeah, I can have the cardigan and the long hair. I like it because it changes my form so much. Like with a cardigan off, it's very much like you can see so much of my muscles, you can see so much of my body. Whereas with this on, it's like very much like a more comfy, like hiding my form, like maybe not wanting too much skin shown in front of like a school setting kind of thing. So we were supposed to start with this and mostly be wearing this. Do what to the fish? Proceed to pleasure yourself with the fish. Oh god, smash the fish. Have you guys never seen The Lighthouse? Sometimes you got to smash the fish. You're away from society long enough, anything looks good. Anything is just like, okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I'm just gonna check the I've got a few more super chats to do from the past, and then I'm gonna do the Streamlabs donations, and then we're gonna head out for the day. I saw that movie. Really good movie. Really fucked up. Really fucked up when you figure out what was going on with the quote-unquote mermaid. Clear Bubble, thank you so much for donating the allowance. Thanks for the reading of the first 3 chapters of your wonderful story. I enjoyed it so much, so I can't wait for more of the story to be released. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Clear Bubble, and I'm excited to release them. That's one of the things where, like, I've been so excited for this for so long. And part of the thing is I've been so excited where I'm like, oh god, if it goes bad, if it goes wrong, I'm gonna hate myself so much. And so I've been kind of scared to start, but now that I've started, it's like, okay, we can keep doing this at our own pace. It'll be fun. Sometimes you meet a giant fish and like a boss. Sometimes when a human meets a fish, and the fish and the human like each other very much. We're doing the birds and the bees, but with the humans and fish. Luther, thank you so much for donating the allowance. Gunba Fuchan, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you to everybody who donated. I can't grab the list of the gifted scholarships, unfortunately. But I saw somebody gifted 50 scholarships at the beginning of the stream. There were a bunch of other gifted ones, so thank you guys so much for supporting the first read-through so much. It was very sweet. But I can read these donations, at least, that came in at the beginning of the stream. The sensei, the sea, and the fish. There are plenty of other fish in the sea. Sensei, by the way, can we translate Metamorphosis Lost into other languages? 100%. Yes, and please do. Anybody who wants to can. I believe I won't say that because I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure we're going to have like a Chinese translation on Bilibili. But in case we don't, ignore me. But if nothing else, yeah, if you want to do like a personal translation for other pupils around the world to be able to read in their own languages, please do. And if you do, again, share it on hashtag Metamorphosis Lost so I can find it. If there are a good like couple of different languages that it starts to get translated into, I'll add a web page to the blog that has like other languages. So it's just literally going to be another tab that's like other languages. And then I'll link to you guys' own host sites if you're hosting it on like a different web space or page. But feel free to translate it. As long as you don't monetize anything, you can make any fan creations, you can translate, all good. Thanks to everyone for the generosity of the scholarships. Yeah, it was so sweet. And Mikuri, thank you so much. Welcome back to the scholarship. I think. It never really tells me anymore whether it's a new one or an old one. It was Yoko, I believe. It was. Thank you guys so much. It was Yoko. So Yoko, thank you so much for the 50 gifted scholarships. There were a bunch of people donating 5 or 10 at a time, but thank you guys so much. That I was really happy. I couldn't say anything because I was like, I want this to be more like streamlined and like quiet about anything other than the story. But yeah, there were a lot of times I was like, oh, you guys are being so sweet. There was a lot of good discussion going on as well. When Saoirse was first introduced, I saw people freaking out so much and being like, oh, adorable. And when like Hannah died, everybody was going nuts. People were like, Feli, why? Oh my God, Cú, are you good? And like not realizing that was one of the most fun bits to write as well. Writing it just in Cú's perspective. Because now I think I held on to that quite well for a while. The idea that when Feli takes over, Cú still feels everything. It's just that he's not in control of his body. So yeah, being able to write like my arm dashes to the side, I feel like the whip pierce her heart before the black flame engulfs her. That kind of shit was brutal and wonderful. It's like, oh, yeah, this is what it would be like if your body just got taken control of and you murdered somebody. So that's fun. It was crazy him feeling like he killed her. Yeah, and writing it in that way where it's just like, wait, what's he doing? Why'd he do that? But then ending the chapter with like, Feileacan, what the fuck? Was just like, yeah, for anybody who didn't know the story whatsoever, it was like, wow, this guy's a dick. He was pretending to be nice to her, then murdered her. And even if you knew, it was like, wow, Cú's kind of a dick. And then you realize like, oh, that's how it feels when Feileacan takes control. Crazy dial. But can Cú free himself from Feli's control? I guess we'll have to see. He didn't do it this time. But did he try this time, or was he just being controlled over? Who knows? How old is Hannah meant to be? Middle school? No, a bit older than that, thankfully. Secondary school right at the end. So she's 15. That will come up in the next chapter. The age gets mentioned a few times, but yeah, she's a child, but she is nearing adulthood. But yeah, in, you know, the worst stage. When children are finally getting their own self-control and being able to leave the house more often, spend more time with friends away from family, and so children can be the most cruel and vicious, as well as also, yeah. So freshman? Freshman in high school, yeah. In secondary school, that's actually like the end of school. You finish your age 15 to 16 in secondary school, and then you go on to college or sixth form, which is just 2 years before you turn 18. So yeah, she's like at the end of secondary school. She's about to make a transition into a new school life as well. and be more focused. Secondary school is like where you do a bunch. It's like high school in America. But when we go to college or sixth form in the UK, we start only doing 3 to 4 subjects. We start doing that when we're 16 to 18 rather than at 18. But then we do also proper university at 18, which is like the one you pay for and everything. Being 14 to 17 is its own kind of terror. Exactly. Oh, Kushami, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, now you know what it feels like. So if one of them is controlling the other one feels everything no matter what anyway. I won't read that message out loud, but yeah, that should help. Dojin and fanfiction writers. Honestly, not being able to control your body and still watching everything happen is terrifying. Yeah. Gotta love the removal of agency from morally gray / neutral entities. Yeah, thank you. Congratulations on the story. You have a very pleasant narrative voice, Sensei. Thank you. Yeah, I tried to do it in like not too intense of a voice, but one that was relaxing for listening to, but then was still also okay to go up and down in like the more emotional settings. So it should be relaxing to listen to if you want to fall asleep without it being like too monotonous that it's boring while the actual like emotional bits are happening. I think I'll get better next time though. I was a bit stressed this time. I didn't find my Feli voice too quickly. Hannah's voice wasn't too different from like Hannah's mother's voice. So yeah, it's a learning lesson. But I mean, I've played a lot of visual novels. I'll do my best. No wonder they made a set of rules for themselves in that situation. Exactly, their covenant. That reminds me of your voice crack. Interesting. Exactly. They do share a body. So yeah. Sweet Jun, thank you so much for donating the flowers. I'm so excited for today, plus tomorrow is my birthday. This week is slowly getting better. I hope you're having a good day, Sensei. I'm having an incredible day. I've been having an incredible week, honestly. Like, yeah, I'm in a good mindset. Like I said, November fucking killed me. And it killed me partly because I was doing so much work, but because I was doing so much work, I wasn't able to do the other things that I enjoy, like chill with you guys and stream. December was very much a recovery month. And now that we're into January, it's very much like I'm telling the story and I'm also just having fun streaming on the side. So it's good. It's good. It's balanced again. I'm enjoying my passions. I'm making sure I take time for myself to relax and spend time with my family and loved ones. And I'm also like streaming and having fun with that, as well as trying to put in a bit of work behind the scenes to make sure we have some fun things coming up in the future as well. So we'll do our best. But yeah, happy early birthday. Thank you so much for the sweet message. I'm so glad you enjoyed the stream. And finally, Tri Princess, thank you for donating the allowance. No message, but thank you so much for the support, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Féileacán and Cú. Hippity hoppity. Your agency and autonomy as a person is now my property. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much just like I'm in control of this sock puppet now. Thanks for the meat puppet. Good vessel. Good vessel. Will the person who has control over the body perceive what the body feels more clearly, or do both people experience it to the same degree? We'll get to that later, but essentially, yeah, they both experience it fully while also having a slight disconnect if they're not in control. If they're not in control, I mean, the best way I can describe it is it's like, fuck, what is it? Not depersonal. Shit. I always forget this word because I get it confused with depersonalization and derealization. What's the thing where you have like an out-of-body experience due to trauma, where you're kind of like watching yourself from third person? Dissociation. Thank you. That's why it fucks with me, because I think it begins with DE, but it's dissociation. So yeah, the best way I can describe it is it's like dissociation. They still feel things, they still see things, but at the same time, there's a slight feeling of disconnect. It's like somebody else is in control of the body, but they know that it's still their body and they still feel and experience everything. Does this mean that Feli now knows brain rot because he learns it through the kids unwillingly? Yeah. Very much so. That's going to be a fun little interaction in a future chapter. I won't spoil exactly how it comes about, but Féileacán and Cú have a moment of like connection where it's like, oh. Okay, jump into Streamlabs before we head out. Rip Feli. I know. He has to deal with 9 to 10-year-olds messing around with him. He gets all those memories, and he has to deal with every thought that comes through Cú's fucking brain. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Poor Feli be groaning in annoyance. I mean, yeah, he's sighed a few times already. I think that's one of my most fun things to write, is just like somebody else doing something and you realize because of Feli's sighs that Cú's already like made up his mind. It's like, oh, I guess we're doing this thing. So there's just 2, but thank you so much for donating to the Feileacans. Oh, I didn't get to this one yesterday either. Oh, I'll do yesterday ones as well. Sorry, I missed a couple. So Try Princess, thank you so much for donating the Feileacans twice, both days. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. No message either time, but thank you so much. And thank you so much for the beautiful message you left offline in the past as well. That was incredibly sweet. So thank you. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I hope 2026 is getting amazing. So I'm kind of confused. What if Cú drinks and gets a hangover? So Feli feels it too, but in your voice pack. Let's just say Feli's stronger. Feli was very much hungover and drunk, but Feli did what had to be done. It's the same way Cú could have done that if he grew the fuck up, but you can have a hangover and be like feeling kind of groggy and still force your way through things. So yeah, it's just he doesn't bitch and moan about it. Brotame, thank you so much for donating the Feileacans. Glad I could make stream today for this heroic moment. Aw, thank you so much, Brotame. That's so sweet. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate with us. I had so much fun reading it. I hope people enjoyed it too. Boop-ba-da-boo. Yes, behind 0. I'm not going to read that one out loud, but yes. Did you just refer to Cú's body as a sock? I mean, same thing as a vessel. Sock puppet, same thing. It's just whose hands up the sock puppet's ass. Pretty much. Chat Summer, thank you so much for donating the Feileacans. These 2 are from yesterday. This has been an emotional journey, and I'm glad to experience the game again with you. So yeah, this is from Undertale. Sorry I didn't have time to read these yesterday. And Pupals. Thank you so much for playing this amazing game, sir. Hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend, sir, with ya. Thank you so much, Chat Summer. Yeah, it was so much fun. I enjoyed Undertale so much. Especially once I actually got through it. Like, going back and seeing all the characters was so nice, and hearing so many of the twists that the story did at the end is wild. I experience dissociation sometimes. You can feel physical, but like turn the emotion off, just numb. Sometimes you can. Sometimes it's like an emotional turn off. Sometimes it's like an out-of-body experience. It very much depends on the type of dissociation. But yeah, there are times you can just feel completely emotionally numb, which may play into things in the future. But yeah, that's the general idea. It basically feels like they're still there. They can feel things, but maybe not 100%. It's like somebody else is slightly in control of their body, but at the same time, when they try to pull themselves back in, they can very much, like, they know they're there. They're seeing what's going on. They're feeling what's going on. Just maybe repressing it in the present as well as, like, putting it away into memories in the past kind of thing. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Well, we won't talk about that more. That'll come up in the story more, for sure. Feli, when he takes control, I don't care, Cú. It's my turn to control this Denver. So, pretty much, it's just like, I let you have your fun. I let you play with this toy long enough. Now let's put it to its purpose. Lil Plathy, thank you. Yeah, sorry. I talked about that in storyline mode, but at the same time, yeah, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I have also experienced dissociation a couple of times in my life, and it's never fun. It sometimes feels like you're never going to come back, so I hope you're dealing with it well. Just take care of yourself. Make sure you're seeking help, essentially, and taking care of yourself and giving yourself the kindness that you need. Lil Plathy, thank you so much for donating the Feileacans. Thank you so much for the wonderful year of 2025, and thank you so much for the huge donation. Sorry I didn't get to read this yesterday. This was such a big one. Looking forward to spending it with you and Pupals in the year of 2026. Happy New Year, and may this year be full of blessings, joy, laughter, and good health. Oh, and thank you so much, Lil Plathy. That's so sweet. I am very much excited to go through 2026 as well. It's my turn on the Xbox, Cú. Exactly. They're siblings fighting over the controller. Mom said it's my turn. Well, Toggy said it's my turn. Was this one? Did I read this one? Oh. Oh, I didn't. This one came while I was offline on New Year's Eve. Okay, so I'm going to read this one as well. Sorry so much to Equi for this one. I didn't notice that I had this one for the last few days. This is the first time I've seen it. But thank you so much for donating the Feileacans. Hello, Cú. I wish I had something meaningful or heartwarming to say today, but I'm afraid I don't. I'm in a weird time in my life where I have no goals I want to achieve or things I want to do. So it's nice to have your streams and the lovely time with the Pupals that I can look forward to every day. And I'm excited for the writing streams we might have in the future. Yeah, that'll definitely happen next Sunday. Maybe it'll help me to get back into journaling more again, which I picked up this year. Awesome. Journaling is so good for you. So I hope you're having fun with that. That definitely helps me self-actualize sometimes and work through some things sometimes. So definitely good. I hope you'll have a good start into the new year and that 2026 will be a wonderful year for you. Thank you for being here and in our lives. Some of us wouldn't be able to shine as bright as we do without the people around us, and you are like the physical prerequisite for the formation of an aurora borealis. That's written so beautifully. Thank you so much. I completely, reverse Uno that. God, I don't have the reverse Uno in here yet. Fuck, I do. Haha! Haha! This is technically a new model, so yeah, I had to redo all of these. But yeah, reverse Uno. That's you guys. That's everybody. Everybody adds something to life. But thank you, and written beautifully and poetically. Thank you for that. Let's continue to shine bright together next year, everyone. Happy New Year, Kuchan. Woof you. And I woof you too, Equi. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I get what you mean as well. Sometimes it's actually nice to have a moment where it's just oh, I don't really feel like doing anything right now. Sometimes you do have those moments where you just need to be in a cocoon. You need to be wrapped up for a little while, just surviving. It's not the best feeling, but at the same time, it can help you reset and restage yourself and prepare for the next goal, the next steps forward. But yeah, I'm glad that you're feeling a bit more comfortable with the Pupals around. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams, and I hope whatever you choose to do next in the future, whether you figure it out in 2026 or it takes a bit longer, I hope it goes wonderfully. And thank you so much for being part of the community and part of what makes this space so warm and comforting and bright as well. So thank you so much, Equi. I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you so much for donating the Feileacans. As definitely a mood, yeah, we all need to be wrapped up sometimes. We all need to be taken care of. We all just need to be chill. Rock, paper, scissors over who takes out the trash. Yep. The outer god has prescribed it. So let me control the flesh Gundam, damn it. The flesh Gundam is crazy. Why are all of you poetic as shit? I feel like an imposter. I know, right? God, we have so many Pupals in the community that just write like they've taken literature for 40 fucking years. That's me in winter in general. I see it in a lot of people around me too. Oh yeah. For a lot of people, it's just a slowdown in the winter season. For other people, it's full on seasonal depression. And there is actually a physical manifestation of it as well. They found out recently, it's not just to do with vitamin D deficiency, which is a big thing, but it's also a psychological brain chemistry thing. Fuck, I forgot. Damn it, Kuchan. I talked about it the other day. Unfortunately, I no longer remember what it was, but I read about it in a journal and about why it happens to some people. Some people have a straight up genetic predisposition to when the sun isn't around, and when it gets colder, their mind gets neurospicy on them. But yeah, seasonal depression is a thing. For some people, it even happens on the opposite side, when it's hot rather than cold. So it's not fully connected to vitamin D or other things like that. But yeah, we all have parts of our lives where it's just okay, I just need to hibernate for a little bit. It's you try to do things, you try to force through things, and there are sometimes your body and your mind are just no, this is just making it harder on me, and you need to take a step back and realize okay, let's reset for a bit, let's take a deep breath, let's just enjoy the fact that we're living for a little while, let's survive, let's do the bare minimum, rest for a little while, and then eventually inspiration will pick you up again. You will eventually get through that just kind of funk, sadness, tiredness, weakness. And obviously you should always go to the doctor as well if it feels like something that's not going away, because it could just be straight up a fucking mineral or vitamin deficiency, which is fucking crazy as well, that can control your mind so completely. But yeah, in general, there are just some times when our mind is just no, we're not going to do anything for a while. You try to force through it, and it just makes it worse and makes you more stressed, and that just adds to the anxiety. So there are times you just have to be I'm just going to be gremlin. I'm just going to survive. I'm going to get through these days, and then eventually, yeah, you'll feel it click in again, where life will open back up to you. You'll feel passion return. There'll be something that you want to achieve, something that you want to do, or a reason to properly get out of bed in the morning, rather than just stumbling out of the bed and doing what you need to, being like, oh, let's go, let's do this. So yeah, pushing through doesn't always work. Yeah, no, there are times you just kind of have to let it go. And that is one of the biggest lessons you can learn if you are somebody who deals with depression kind of feelings, whether it is seasonal depression or just like depression that comes and goes every couple of months. There are just days, weeks, months sometimes where you just have to do your best to survive, and just getting through that day is all you can do, and that's fine. Sometimes you have to do that, you survive, you make it through, and then you can start building yourself up again on the other side. So yeah. Hope you're all taking care of yourself. I hope you all had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the chapters. I had so much fun reading them, and I'm going to upload them to the blog right after this, including the Hannah's butterfly picture. I'm not going to read through them and check what I wanted to correct before this time, but I'm probably going to re-watch the read-through at some point and hear when I freeze. Because I know that I froze for a moment at one point and was like, eh? I don't know if it was a tense thing. No, I think it was repeating the same word twice in 2 sentences, and I was like, fuck you, Q-chan, that sounds so bad. So yeah, I'm going to at one point figure that out, and there'll be a slight correction, but I'll upload them right away in case anybody wants to read them just writing style. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna head out for the day. I will drop my schedule for the week tomorrow once I've figured out exactly what it's gonna be. Like I said, I know what a Shiatei Oku Sensei is gonna be. We're gonna be doing a writing stream on Sunday on the membership. So yeah, you skipped a line. I think that's why you panicked. There was a couple of other things. There were a couple of slip-ups, but I know there was for a fact one thing where it was like 2 sentences in a row used the exact same word for something that shouldn't have occurred in that way. I think it was like a descriptor. It was like an adjective that I used twice in 2 sentences to describe 2 different things, and that's never good. That's always painful when it's like, oh, this thing was so perplexing, blah 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 blah. The perplexity of this thing. It's like, oh, bleh, find a different word, find a different word. I know I did that at some point, so I'm going to go back and find it. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being here for the discussion as well. You're nitpicking. That's not nitpicking. That's silly. Unless you're doing it on purpose. Unless you're doing it because you really want to drive it home, or because that word is more important that you want to pick it up in one way. It wasn't important. It was just, don't do that twice. But thank you guys so much for being here. As always, burn bright, my pupils, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Such a long way together, walked the roads and saw the days go by before we had a chance to find a separate meaning. But I kept searching for a place, not a general direction. All the paths they point to you. It took me time, but then I knew that I could not go back. Won't be the same as before. Don't wanna go another day far away from you. It's painful, but I don't regret it. All that I have, all that I am, wrapped inside of you. Though time goes by, I won't Let the tears fall down and hide away inside your open arms, to stay like this forever, to grasp at one more day. Find a way to go beyond the unknown. Let it all just fade away until there's nothing more to say. That I'm not holding back, just falling down to be where you are. Don't wanna go another day far away from you. It's painful, but I don't regret it. All that I have, all that I am, wrapped inside of you. Though time goes by, I won't forget it. What you mean to me. On the road, I don't wanna go alone. No, through the changing weather, we stay so warm. Is it really true? Then again, you always knew. Don't wanna go another day far away from you. It's painful, but I don't regret it. All that I have, all that I am, wrapped inside of you. Though time goes by, I won't forget it. What you mean to me.
Sweet dreams, everyone. Bye-bye.